Meanwhile, you're always about women's business. Always talking about the sisters. Always talking to the sisters. They've got mahrams. They've got walis. They've got their guardians. It isn't you. I mean, I hate to use their terminology, but this is about the most beta thing you can possibly do. Always in the women's section. And the irony is that these are the same ones who are endlessly droning on and on about masculinity. Meanwhile, you can't do the basic thing, the most basic thing that men do as men, which is to ignore women. I mean, I'm sorry, I don't mean that in an obnoxious way, but women have their world, their sphere, and men have their world and their sphere. But meanwhile, you're always trying to weasel your way into the sphere of women, under the guise of nasiha, under the guise of advice. But you're just like a peeping Tom who's trying to justify why he's doing what he's doing by saying that you're just trying to check up on the sisters to make sure that they're safe. No, it's not your business. The men are over here, brother. Meanwhile, you keep sliding your way back to where the sisters are. And this is very disrespectful. It's very insulting to their walis. I mean, let's take this offline, Let me catch you on the street talking to my wife or talking to my sisters about how they shouldn't go out, or they shouldn't go to the gym, or they shouldn't go to school, or you don't like the way they're dressed, or what have you. I wish you would. You better hope that that red pill you took is a painkiller, because you're going to be dancing cheek to cheek with the concrete here.
Get your life, baby. I got mine, why you can serve my mind, baby. Feeling me, that's why they killing me, lately. Get your life. Get your life, get your life, get your life, baby. I got mine, why you can serve my mind, baby. Feeling me, that's why they killing me, lately. Get your life. Run up when you see me, no disguises. Keep that thing with me, cause I don't do surprises. Jas show and tell, all facts, no lies, streak. Get your life, cause I'm the type that come to it that 9 quick. Eyes on me, what you care for? Watching me, baby, care for. If you ain't a fan, where the cameras? Hide in the back with the bellboys. My circle so restricted. Hands raised like it's your religion. When I sleep, pay close attention. Fake friends out here pretending. Get your life, get your life, get your life, baby. I got mine, why you can serve my mind, baby. Feeling me, that's why they killing me, lately. Get your life. Get your life, get your life, get your life, baby. I got mine, why you can serve my mind, baby. Feeling me, that's why they killing me, lately. Get your life.
Focus there.
Watch them cause they after me like a pot of gold. I'm not for play, ask Keisha if you don't know. I'm a little bit cray-cray, approach me, you better be right. If you don't come correctly, you can catch these hands tonight. Eyes on me, what you care for? Watching me, baby, care for. If you ain't a fan, where the cameras? Hide in the back with the bellboys. My circle's so restricted. Hands raised like it's your religion. When I sleep, pay close attention. Fake friends out here pretending. Get your life, get your life, get your life, baby. I got mine, why you can serve my mind, baby. Feeling me, that's why they killing me, lately. Get your life.
Get your life.
Get your life, get your life, get your life, baby. I got mine, why you can serve my mind, baby. Feeling me, that's why they killing me, lately. Get your life.
Get your life, boo.
Already. Good morning, good evening, good night, and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's your nighttime, right time DJ Music, and welcome to another episode of the Chop Shop. Hey there, Candy Cane Lane, how are you? Give me a one or two of y'all can hear me loud and clear up off in this piece before we get started. Yes, indeed. Y'all see it on the screen. You know what we're going to be talking about. It's made its rounds, folks. It's got back to me. I first heard about this watching Taz. Thank you there, Candy Cane. A Taz exclusive. Yeah, some of y'all know him as the GOAT debater or whatever. However you choose to identify with him, go over and like, share, and subscribe if you want to. But anyway, he was calling out Illasophical. And I don't, as you can see on the screen, you'll see who. That's why I go over and I screenshot these folks' channel, so you'll know who I subscribe to and who I don't. As you can see on the screen, there's two people I do not subscribe to. So the only way that the DPMO Morning Show and Illasophical would be in my wheelhouse if somebody pointed them out to me. Now, Jas Noelle, you see, I subscribe to her channel. So the other day she was doing a live about this subject again. And I see it's starting to make its rounds. And the reason why I was just going to use those two, for the lack of better words right now, men, debaters, about underage girls. I won't say there's no such thing as an underage woman, folks. So I don't know why they keep saying underage woman. There's no such thing as an underage woman. According to the majority of the states, you're not legal until you're 21 in most states to buy alcohol, buy a pack of cigarettes or whatever. So we're going to use 21 as the parameter, not 18. We're going to use 21 as the parameter because in most cases, even though some of these fools was over in Jas Noelle's stream, bringing about the fact that you can be 18 and join the military. One has nothing to do with the other. But it's funny how these defenders of the word teenager, because they see them in a lustful manner, will come up with all kind of excuses to say this is normal, even trying to take us back to a time to where it was actually legal to do this. It was legal to give away your 14-year-old to some unsuspecting. Y'all watch The Color Purple too much. Y'all really believe that The Color Purple for some of y'all is the ultimate. That's how women should be treated. Again, at 14 years old, she's not a woman. That is still a girl. Since like y'all like breaking stuff down, let's break it down to the science of what it is. Go look up the definition of what a woman or a girl is, or what a female is. It'll give you two definitions: a girl or a woman, or an adult woman. That's the definition of it. That's it. But again, listening to some of these folks, they will give all kind of reasons why it's okay. It used to be done back then. Well, back then they didn't have toilets, so that means you don't use yours no more. I can come up with all kind of reasons of what we used to do back then to why we should not do it today. And if it was okay to do back then, why did they create these laws to make sure it's never done again? Why are there so many child predator crimes on the books? Why, if one of these guys get caught doing something unthinkable to a child and they get prosecuted and put in jail, why are they the first ones to be targeted if this was okay in our society? How can you normalize that? I bet you won't go to any jailhouse, Illa or DPMO, and give these arguments that you folks gave. I guarantee you will not go into any man's barbershop. Okay, because my man came into Jas Noelle's stream and I guess called himself being a troll. So of course I spoke to him and I said, he said that a woman would not understand what we talk about as men. So I highlighted his name and said, okay, since you said a woman wouldn't understand, come explain it to a grown man. You know what his response was? Oh, nigga, you ain't nothing. And so let me go ahead and make this clear. It's not about clout chasing, because I don't ask for super chats. I don't ask for money. It's not personal. I'm going to use your very words to counteract anything that you say that I disagree with. Since you like to debate, since you think that you cannot be wrong as a grown man, and I know that I'm older than you. So one thing I have on my side right now, if there was the tail of the tape, Illa and DPMO Tukay, I have experience and on my side. I have back then on my side. I have history on my side. I got at least a 20-year head start on the bullshit that y'all trying to pass. Because I've heard niggas like you talk before. And they usually end up in jail. Or they usually end up as shunned in the community. When you talk about them, you don't invite them anywhere. When you talk about them, it's never favorable. And I'm going to show you exactly what I mean. So without further ado there, ladies and gentlemen, but first, you know what? Let me introduce you to 2K, all right? Because 2K, for some reason, he likes to be on internet, like to be one of those tough guys, saying that he's one of these Facebook guys from way back when. Listen, 2K, let me say something to you, brother. If you got to resort to threatening people to cover up to back up your talking points, you've already lost the battle already. If you got to come out the box threatening people of what you gonna do to them if they disagree with you, and I'll show you what I mean, you already lost the battle, sir. That's telling somebody, if I don't disagree. Wait a minute. Let me stop talking here. Let me get this off the screen. I can show you better than I can tell you, brother. Like I said, I try to get away from this stuff. I called the loose nigga roundup, but every time I try to get away, somebody clicks me back on and says, what you think about this? Or I see it on somebody else's channel. Damn it, I couldn't. From what I was witnessing in Jas Noelle's platform last night, I had to say something about this. Had to. Y'all niggas out there is crazy, man. A lot of people say, oh, that's just the internet persona. No, these niggas live like this in real life, folks. Indeed. Let me get this off the screen. But y'all check out who we dealing with here, okay?
DPMO Show. I'm just letting niggas know, hey, y'all, I ain't finna keep playing with you YouTube niggas, cause y'all think y'all can turn off your computer and this shit over. Nigga, nah, I sleep with you. I sleep with you, nigga. You gonna have to think about me as soon as you get up. Damn. This ain't what you wanna do, cuz. And I'd already been doing my research, cuz. He ain't lying. That's what I'm telling you niggas. I'm not saying this with nothing in mind. I'm saying this two moves already in my head. Who want it first? Free smoke, free smoke. Who want it first? Pick the casket, nigga. This Steve Hall.
Okay, so you asking for smoke, and then you threaten people if they give you smoke that you're going to go and do whatever you can, whatever it is, to expose them. That's called doxing. And so DPMO 2K, I'll let you know, in the state of South Carolina, that is illegal. In the state of South Carolina, it is illegal to put somebody's personal information or anything about someone's personal life that does not make it public. So the mere fact that, or if you are in any state that these laws are applicable, sir, you are just admitted to create, about to, or have in the past a crime. Now, if you keep it in the parameters of YouTube, You are free to disagree with me or anyone else. But as soon as you go into talking about what you won't do or who is safe and who ain't, folks, that you stop being a content creator.
And you're now watching the Don't Piss Me Off Morning Show.
Well, hey, you know, I can't really speak on that. Let me say this, because I've been seeing a lot of motherfuckers with a lot to say about me.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
And y'all niggas really just don't motherfucking know. All right? Listen, I come from the Facebook side of the game. Beef is not what you ever thought you wanted with me. Okay? You will get your mama being and put out there. Your grandma, your kids, they safe. All right?
See, that's what I'm saying. What for? Because someone disagree with you, it's okay to go and put somebody's mother's or somebody else's business out there or somebody's health issues are out there. I don't understand why y'all niggas got to resort to that. Keep it in the parameters of the person that you're talking to. What's the purpose of going and attacking somebody's family? If you new to this, like if you true to this, like you say that you are, 2K, you would already know that to keep it in the parameters of who you talking to and what they're talking about. What's up there, King Picks? Again, some people don't understand being wrong is okay. It's okay to be wrong about any given situation. Being wrong or admitting that you're wrong is not a character flaw. There's nothing wrong with saying, you know what, damn, I was wrong about that. I don't think there's nobody that's perfect under the sun, but when you get to the point of talking about you digging up folks' personal business to prove, what point are you proving by that? And that's not only for 2K, that's for anyone. What point have you proven by talking about somebody's mama or talking about somebody's kid? We all saw what we went through with Anton Daniels. By the way, this is one of Anton Daniels' man's right here. We all saw what we went through when Corey Holcomb portrayed his daughter a certain way. So to what 2K saying is what ain't good for the goose. I'm mad because y'all talked about my man's kid, but that's okay for if I don't agree with you. It's okay for me to go talk about your mom and anybody else I feel like. The hypocrisy is real. Let me let him talk a little bit more here. Then we're gonna move on.
Your wife might be safe. Might be. But I promise y'all, if y'all lame ass niggas, house of hypocrites, I ain't Supreme TV, whatever the fuck y'all niggas want to be, you keep fucking up, I swear to God, I'm going to show y'all what a super op is. Y'all niggas have.
Okay, so basically, if you watch any of these, okay, especially House of Hypocrites, what he's now talking about, he's not talking about them. What he's talking about is the report that they do on Anton Daniels. That's what he's defending right now. He's not defending him. Yeah, of course. They talking about Anton Daniels, and you sitting front and center with Anton Daniels. That ain't collateral damage. You putting yourself in harm's way, 2K, especially when you got out on a limb to defend him. How can these folks that report on Anton keep your name out of their mouth? Look here. Look.
I have no idea. You YouTube niggas is new to what the fuck I have mastered already. Now, I tell you like this, play with your livelihood if you want to. You niggas got to get up and go to work. I do this. I do this. Nigga, you will find yourself in places you have never been before. So that's how I'm gonna keep you. You YouTube nigga keep thinking it's sweet because y'all can't find my profile. They deleted it, okay? My profile deleted. I had YouTube for 1 year, 50,000 subscribers. That's way more than any nigga that's talking to me. But y'all will understand.
Okay, again, my man, do you understand that you just told on yourself again? And your zest to be the pound on your chest. You just told the YouTube folks that, hey, look, you know what? For some reason or the other, I had 50,000 subscribers and y'all took away my channel. And all intents and purposes, I really ain't supposed to be up here, because once you're banned from YouTube, you're banned for life, depending on the severity. So I'm wondering, did you petition the YouTube gods to get your channel back? If not, what Donald Trump said, YouTube, if you're listening, I don't know. But out of his own mouth, he said he got banned. I don't know. Maybe he got banned from Facebook. Maybe he got banned from YouTube. But the same rules apply. You might be, the rules might be a little less lenient over on TikTok and Instagram and all those other places. But I know YouTube and Facebook, once you get banned from over there, it's hell and high water to get back, especially on a platform. But how do you lose 50,000 subscribers? I don't know. They ain't came back.
Understand quickly how my following went from 0 to 50K real fast. If you want to be the motherfucking example, I promise you that. Keep in mind, I'm from the Facebook side of the game. This shit new to y'all. This level 1, I'm gonna take it on another level, and that's a fucking promise. That's a fucking promise. You ain't never seen yourself like like you gonna see yourself when you fuck with me. Super op. And I just gotta
super
go.
op. God damn it. Hey, Kai, since we waiting on Fatty, what's your thoughts on everything I said in 2K? What he said?
Fatty, how he just came out and tried to do you with your studio, but that's here or there. But yeah, let's just dead it. Like it's over with. Leave it alone.
How long, Courtney? I'm not ready for it. I was born for it. Listen, cause you don't understand, nigga. This is the shit that y'all doing right now on Facebook. These little back and forth niggas, y'all sparring over here. Y'all, I'm over there rocking with my dog. I'm not no understudy or no Anton. Anton wouldn't even tell you no bullshit like that. Anton don't pay me. Anton has never paid me for being on his show. Now, he came and donated on my page, and I did appreciate it. But I am not no understand. I got my own motherfucking money. And for any one of these niggas, House of Hypocrites, whoop, 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 nigga, we can line it up. We can see who do the most motherfucking numbers, because y'all don't know where I'm at. I'm looking at your numbers. House of Hypocrites. Nigga been on YouTube since 2017, 1 million some views. Boy, get the fuck off the internet. Nigga.
Okay, my man. So it's obvious it's about channel supremacy. So as you see right now, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt that because you have more subs than you have more subs than me. So I'll say your channel is more visible than mine. I will give you that. But sir, just because you have a whole lot of subs and it's proven, that don't necessarily mean all those people watch you. It's easy for someone to come over and click a button and say, yeah, I subscribe. That's easy to do. I don't understand why y'all think that channel supremacy is something, or subscriber count is something. What it boils down to is really, are you really, since y'all want to chime on the money, are you really making any money from YouTube? Does the YouTube check, does the algorithm check afford your style of living? Let me see what's up there. Devereaux Mathis. I hope I'm saying it. Mathis. Thank you so very much. Let me read your comment right here. It says, big paper getting pink like flamingos. Blink to the junkies serving the gringos. What up, player? I guess I shouldn't have read that in my old school voice. I don't do the hip hop, but I get what you're saying now. Let me see if I can do that again. Big paper getting pink like flamingos. No, let me stop that. But anyway, appreciate it. But I get what you're saying. Is it's always how much you're getting. Listen, for me, on the radio side of thing, and even with the YouTube side of thing that I do here, for me, it's no matter how much you're making, if you don't enjoy what you're doing, you're wasting your time. And if you're doing this just for recognition and money, sooner or later, both of those reasons going to burn out. Trust me, I've been in the broadcast business since 2013, 2014, and I still enjoy every show I do. Whether one person is listening or whether there's 5,000 folks listening, I enjoy them. I don't go on looking for the dollar. If someone should happen to donate to this platform or the radio platform, thank you. But you'll never say, hey, I'm not going to do this because y'all ain't donating, or I'm going to defend somebody because I appreciate his donation. Don't you? You just told us again out your own mouth. This is the way that Anton pays you. So you can run for cover that way. He comes over and make a couple $100 cash apps to you, and then paid you. Hey, Al Boogie, how you doing? Happy Tuesday to you. Thank you so very much. Always a pleasure seeing you up in the front row. What's that King picks? There are people with little followers with more notoriety. Absolutely. Absolutely. And like he said, he says he's been in this game for a long time, but King picks, you never know who've been in these spaces just as long or as long as you, just because they don't have the notoriety that you may have here, you or Illa, because it seems that both of y'all always use that as a weapon when you lose. How many subscribers you got? Ain't nobody listen to you. Well, right now, the few people that's listening to me, guess what? They loyal. They always here. They don't come over just to see whether DJ Music is doing some drama today. They're generally interested in what I have to say. Can you honestly say that about 90% of the people that's in your chat? There's probably 10% of them that rock with you, but the rest of them either record you waiting for you to say some fucked up shit that we about to go over here. And you and Illa are going to spend probably the next better part of this week and next week trying to defend this shit. Because usually when I'm catching hold of it, it's probably been in the space probably about a week already, week and a half. Come to find out I was right. They've been talking about you. You've been said this shit. I thought by now you would have taken it down, because as I was out over at Jas Noelle, I was thinking, well, shit, it's going to be hard to find. Let me ask Jas if she got the original. Because I don't like people thinking, well, you are just agreeing to her because you're a woman. No, me, you, and Illa, and what's the young lady's name, are going to review this shit ourselves. And then we're going to go to Jas Noelle. All right? So let me get this off the screen here. We don't need to see this no more. Now I know what kind of person that I'm dealing with. Now I know that sometimes I'll have to speak. Now I won't say gingerly, but directly, so you don't take it as an insult. My pleasure, my pleasure. Hey there, young Reyes. How you doing? How you doing? Yeah, I'm glad you noticed that, El Boogie. I don't know, but I don't give them out often. You got to be I think you understand why you have a wrench. Appreciate you. All right. But let me get this off the screen here. Let me remove this, and let's go to this right here.
On the DPMO show.
See something walking down the street, you don't know it's a man. But once you find out it's a man, it doesn't change what's attractive, but you change your desire because you're not attracted to men. So it's the same.
That's wild. That's wild.
You notice that she started off out of this. If you so call yourself justifying this by this, it's lucky already dropped a mic drop incident on you. See, I already know when let me back up, because I already put myself in the mode. You got to be careful what you say. So y'all notice the difference in my tone, and I tend to stammer a little bit more. So fuck that. She started off with a mic drop, so I'm gonna start off with a mic drop. She damn right. Because once you walking down the street, especially if you in some parts of Atlanta, the ATL, some of y'all niggas can't tell the difference until you walk up on it, until it turn around, or until you think you're reaching for a glove box and you grab a clutch. Then all of a sudden your attraction and your desire turned off, because you know why? You realize that motherfucker got the same equipment you got. You ain't into tallywhacking. So it's automatically unattractive to you. So you can't use that as an example as she's wrong, because she's absolutely right. There was no sense in debating this. This was a one hit quitter here. You shouldn't have let off with this. But let's go.
change your desire if
wild.
you're not attracted to
That's
a
a
female.
huge
What are we
difference.
talking
That's
about?
a
It's like
huge
if I find
difference.
if I see a
Nah.
man, if
That's
I
a
see
huge
a man and I'm like,
You
dang,
said
he's
why?
fine, and he's like, oh, I'm 19. Oh no.
Like when I finally got my hands on a goof ass woman at 22, think about it. I 22. I thought there would never be another not goofy ass woman in my life. Let me go ahead and cuff this one. That's how.
I mean, did you found one? Obviously,
Yes, nigga, that's a unicorn. I'm not.
But you found it though.
Yes. How many didn't?
How did you find? So,
I had
let
to
me
go.
ask you a
My
question.
nigga, I
Let
had.
me ask you a question.
Okay.
Hold on,
Okay.
hold up. Let me ask you a question because you're talking on the show.
Okay.
So let's talk about what you got.
Okay.
So let me ask you, how did you find out she was a unicorn? What did you do to find out?
First of all, I had to travel across the fucking globe.
Okay, next.
We can stop it right there. Most niggas can't leave a fucking city.
You're damn right, folks. I don't know why those passport brothers say they call that a flex. Let me tell you something. Maybe I'm wrong about this, but I think when it comes to women, period, y'all outnumber us. I think it's like 2 to 1, 3 to 1, just regardless of the hue of your skin. Y'all outnumber us like 3 to 1. So you mean to tell me you and all your pimping skills couldn't find one jewel over here in the United States? You had to travel the globe, take love where you found it, so you decide to leave on a jet plane and go find love somewhere else. That is not a flex. That's just saying you prefer over there than here. That ain't a flex, sir. You mean of all the millions of women here, the single women in the United States, you cannot, there's no unicorns in the United States. The only place they exist is in another part of the world. And these guys that talk about, well, I've been around it. Listen, in the Marine Corps, I've been around the world at least 7 times. And while you in something, you thought you done found a unicorn. While you in that doing that horizontal bump, you damn right. You thought you was in an unicorn. Unicorn. Now I want to know, Tukay. You said that when you met this woman, she was in her 22. 22. How old were you at this time? Because 22, she's considered of legal age. So why would you bring this 22-year-old woman into the picture? That's not what this conversation about. We're not talking about 22, 21-year-old women. We're talking about the word that y'all about to use in a little while, teenagers. That is the striking difference. That's why I stopped it there. You said bring it on, so that's what I'm talking about. We're not talking about the woman that you came to at 22. Because we know older women date older men. We know older women date younger men. We know that. That's in the circle of dating. Some people, me, to be quite honest with you, to be quite candid, I prefer the 5 up, 5 down rule. 5 years younger than me, 5 years older than me. Because after that, what the fuck we got in common? What we gonna talk about outside of that 5-year generation span? You live in a different world from me. And as the older I get, I guarantee you that 5-year span does not consist of a teenager. The only time that 5 up, 5 down, because I wasn't dating nobody at 15. Were y'all? So the 5-year rule had to come when I became into the old enough where I thought that I wanted to date women. So if I was 23, I wouldn't date no damn girl that was 16 because she was a teenager. So a lot of y'all, and I said this for purpose, because a lot of y'all niggas will come in here with the Romeo and Juliet rule, talking about, well, because of that. No, it's for that purpose only. For these young kids that decide that they want to date, and that Romeo and Juliet thing protects them, not you. That does not give the old niggas carte blanche to go fuck with a younger girl, a teenager. No, it doesn't. And a lot of y'all will state that doing these fucking panels.
But again, like on the way Shay said, you picked a 17-year-old and expected the secret like that to be kept. That's stupid. You were dumb on your fault. You didn't allow your discernment to lead you in the right way.
So-
and I get what you're saying, Tukay. We be dumb and in love and be looking over the red flags and we'll just accept it and keep moving on. But you got to come to a point too and think like, hey, Shawty might, hey, if this get out or Shawty be looking for something else, she might expose me. So you got to just think there might be a bad case scenario.
Okay, hold on, wait. So hold on, okay.
But I get what you're saying, though. I get what you're saying. I tell dudes, I think it's bleak here. But what I'm saying is this, 2K. Because what you're telling me, it's like what you're saying is, this is what the fuck they got. This is what they got to choose from. You right, bruh. So I'm trying to give them the best perspective in the worst possible scenario. If you know that, if you ain't willing to go overseas like 2K did, if you ain't willing to get your passport and really expand yourself, you're going to be picking from this goofy ass pal, right, 2K?
Yes.
So all I'm saying,
I thought my fault, folks. I had the microphone on, damn it. But let's go back to what I was saying. Again, I want y'all to think about this. What Illa just said, a lot of people hadn't said anything about this. He referred to y'all as, what did he say? What did he say? What did he say? Was the pick of what? What did you say again, Illa? Let me play it again. Hold on, let me back up just a little bit. What did he call y'all? Hold on, check this out.
I tell dudes, I think it's bleak here. But what I'm saying is this, 2K. Because what you're telling me, it's like what you're saying is, this is what the fuck they got. This is what they got to choose from. You right, bruh. So I'm trying to give them the best perspective in the worst possible scenario. If you know that, if you ain't willing to go overseas like 2K did, if you ain't willing to get your passport and really expand yourself, you're going to be picking from this goofy ass pal, right, 2K?
So if you ain't willing to go overseas, if you ain't willing to leave the country, you're going to be picking from this goofy ass pile. Why everybody's put over that? Because basically that's what he's saying about, he didn't say that about black women. He just said goofy ass pile. So he lumped everybody in. And until you go to another country, the goofy ass pile is American women until you get your passport and leave this country and get you one. I wonder why that is. See, you got to start breaking things down to a smaller science, folks. You got to listen to the subtle nuances of what this is, because one thing I do know about it, I've traveled across the seas. I've been in places like the Philippines and Korea. I see what some of these niggas that say the same shit, I see what they got up under their arm when they're in them clubs. I see what they be walking out the club with. I see what they be paying the bar fine for. I seen it. You can't tell me.
It's to brothers who want to keep dealing with these goofy ass bras out here. If this is the pool you picking from, my nigga, the best you could do, it's not foolproof, but you need to at least be paying attention to subtle shit if you're going to be picking from the goofiest motherfuckers on the planet, just to give yourself a fighting fucking chance. That's all I'm saying. Because obviously they not listening to me and you. They're going to keep dealing with these goofy ass. So I'm going to tell them the best little inch of advice I can give them to deal with them.
I keep telling you don't have no choice because
shit keep going. going.
Because listen, even when I got to Hawaii, there was a group of goofy females there, right? So it was just literally, bro. It's like, it's just the.
So you ask some questions.
See, again, this is how dumb 2K is. This nigga thought because he went to Hawaii, he was in another country. Did y'all catch that? He literally said, even when I went to Hawaii, there was if you are in Hawaii, you are still in the United States, 2K. That's why you got to stop and listen, folks. That's why you can't listen to these dudes with emotion. Emotion will make you not hear shit that they say.
Sounds like you asked some questions or you made some adjustments to something happened to get her from point A to point B with you. Is what I'm saying.
All right, let's break down the other part of this, right? Let's get into the age aspect, because what I'm starting to figure out, that illegal and wrong are two different things.
How is that?
Right. Example.
Okay, 2K. How is illegal and wrong two different things? In order for something to be illegal, it has to be wrong, or it wouldn't be illegal. Now, are you trying to use the word morality? Did you forget how to use that? Because legal is legal. Either it's wrong or it's not. No one is going to, well, I can't say that. You can get legally charged with some shit you didn't do. Yeah. But wrong does not mean that, see, you got me fucked up now.
Example, jaywalking. Jaywalking not wrong. Nobody got hurt.
Yes, it is. It's illegal to jaywalk. So it is wrong. It is illegal to walk against traffic. There is a statute on the books, and if you took your driver's license, when you had to pass that, there was one page that directly answered that question for you. If you're on a bike, you ride with traffic. If you're walking, you walk against traffic. So people can see you hitting on. I guess it's easier, best to get hit head on. No, I'm just kidding. But you can see, you can react better. That's why I say it's best to walk facing traffic, not against it. You can't see what's coming up behind you. At least you got a fighting chance. So there are statutes on the book, and those statutes are there for that reason, 2K. Y'all got to understand who you're dealing with. That's why I showed you that earlier. This is more than about little kids. This is about niggas that literally talking about getting on these platforms, thinking they're educating, but they don't know what the fuck they're talking about themselves.
It was cool, but it's illegal.
Mm-hmm.
You shouldn't do it. You get a ticket for it. You go to jail. Now, Boston Richie met Tati at 16. I think he was 24 at the time. And that's
illegal. That is called, in some states, that is called statutory rape. Why do you think some of these folks move to states to where the legal age of consent is with the person that they're dealing with? We just had a major case of that. We all know how that ended up. So some of these folks understand in some state the age of consent does vary. So I don't know. I'm just using these. I'm not talking about the age of consent. But if the age of consent is 16 in Florida, and I'm at 15 in Florida, but I'm dealing with let's move the age up. Let's see if the age of consent is 17 and I'm dealing with a 16-year-old in one state, and the age of consent is 17 in another state, I'm bringing that person to that state to where the age of consent is 17. I'm not breaking the law according to those city statutes. They got to know this. But again, we're not talking about, like I asked him in the beginning, you said the woman that you're dealing with is 22. By all rights and purposes, not only she's not legal, she is considered an adult female. Not only by eyes, But legally, she is an adult female. She is free to make her own decisions. She's free to drink. She's free to do all of these things that an adult female legally has the, dare I say, constitutional power to do.
It's illegal. Yes, that's illegal, right?
Mm-hmm.
But her parents was with it. She was with it. And
just because their parents are with it and she was with it, does not make it legal. That makes it asinine. That's all that does. It does not justify the right and the wrong. Just because her parents were with it, her parents should be charged too, because they have aided and abetted in the delinquency of a minor. Depends on what state you're in.
They never said shit about it, bro. But now that they break up, she's accusing him of being a predator. She's accusing him of being out of the above, like she didn't benefit from this. Now, if you had the knowledge to keep this shit a secret this whole time, that lets me know that you was in cahoots with this, whether you.
Okay, see, this is one. Those was one of those definite PDFers creeds, mantras. She knew because she didn't say nothing while it was happening. At 16 years old, how many 16-year-old people y'all know that have jobs? How many of y'all know at 16 years old that somebody with a pile of money and fame and fortune can give you the lifestyle that you could only think about and think that this is this person is greater than sliced bread? You don't want to do you wouldn't want to do anything in the world to hurt that person. At 16, most of us, they call it puppy love. We puppy love. This person can do no wrong, male and female. We all done it. Come to find out, this person didn't have us in his best interest. This person only looked at me. What looking at me as a person? What's up there, logical assessment? They were only looking at me because of my shape. And once I found that out, once I started realizing, wait a minute, this person ain't with me because he always got somebody else. I'm always going through his phone and he calling somebody. He with this person. He don't love me. She don't love me. I want my mama. I want my daddy. Daddy, I was 15. I was 16. This man, but some parents would have put you in the ground. Some parents that we find out will cover it up. And that's what some of these PDFers thrive on. The parents that don't say nothing. Because my 16-year-old daughter, if I had a 16-year-old daughter, she wouldn't be out of my sight. Nigga, at 24, you wasn't coming to get shit. But I ass whipping. If the person that's taking my my daughter to the senior prom already out of high school, and this ain't his first year, he graduated with the last semester of folks, and he been out of high school less than 6 months, we good. But this nigga been in college 4 years and working on his master's, and at 17, he talking about he coming to take my daughter to the senior or junior prom. Pop y'all, pop y'all, pop y'all. That's what he gonna run into. It's gonna be full of rock salt. But I bet he won't come back. That's the difference. That's why I titled this, folks. That's why I put this title up. Grown men don't talk like this. They talk like me. They talk about the grown men that's around me. There is no discussion age limit, because if one of the men around us starts to talk like these two niggas, they not around us long. Nigga, you got to get the fuck on with that. Man, that's a little chick, man. What the fuck you looking at, nigga? Something wrong with you? Man, you talking about it, man. You know that's a young girl, man. You can look at her face and tell that's a young chick, man. Stop it. I didn't hear this once between these two men because they don't have these kind of conversations. They have conversations, and folks that came into Jas Noelle's stream, that folks that came into Taz's stream, they all came in reasons why these two men or what they're saying is correct.
You could consent or not. We need to have this deeper conversation. And
there is no deeper conversation. At 16, you can't consent to shit because you're not legally, you're not an adult. You can't consent to shit. Again, those folks use this Romeo and Juliet rule, this for grown men to say they're consenting. No, that's for those. There I use this for those overzealous parents that try to keep their young daughter as sweet Polly purebred. And when they find out she ain't so Polly, she ain't so pure, you're not going to run to the police department and say, hey, that 17-year-old touched my daughter. Well, how old is he? 17. How old is she? 16. Ma'am, they're only 1 year apart. We ain't talking about a nigga that's 24 and she's 16.
a lot of dudes are scared to have this conversation because it leave us looking weird at the end of it.
No, it don't. It don't leave me look. Do I look weird, y'all? Y'all put down in the chat room. Do I look weird? Do I sound weird right now having this conversation with y'all? Is anything I'm saying out of my mouth right now sound weird? If it is, let me know. Please do. Is anything I'm saying so far sound weird? Somebody put a yes or a no, one or a two. Fuck you, I'm leaving something. If what I'm saying sound weird. None? Damn it.
Right. But at some point, we have to talk about this bullshit because we don't know nobody. I ain't gonna say nobody, but we don't know nowhere where this don't happen and this isn't norm. When I was 16.
You mean like older men and younger women?
Yes. When I
Oh no, I agree with you.
Okay, you all two niggas open up the conversation. Hey, Brownie Ellie, how you doing? Good to see you. Yeah, I know that's the point that I'm saying. They as I said, sticks and stones. You can't get past the truth because it's standalone. I want anybody to tell me that what I'm saying is incorrect. Because men do not talk like this. This is not a conversation me and my brothers would have. This is not a conversation me and my cousins would have. This is not I've had a lifelong friend for over 25 years, and this is not a conversation me and him would have. If me and KB riding down the street anywhere, can you imagine these niggas on the beach? Can y'all imagine these niggas on a beach?
I agree with you, but this the problem with that. I agree. The problem is the society doesn't keep up with the pace of nature. What am I saying? Once upon a time, we had a society that moved at the speed of nature. So in other words,
no, sir, we never had a society that moved at the speed of nature. We sped up nature by inventing shit. The cotton gin, the toilet, the broom. Nature don't clean up itself. Nothing that what we sped up nature. That is why some women develop more because of what the shit that we put in food now. Because you're not gonna tell me when I was in the 8th grade, y'all ladies forgive me, but you're not gonna tell me that women in the 8th grade had titties because they didn't. Wait a minute. I got something to do, y'all. Hold on just a second. Let me do something. Wait a minute. I gotta address this too. Wait a minute. There you go.
Oh, I'm sorry. Somebody trying to talk to me while I'm working? Go outside, nerd. Get out. Go. I ain't got time to be distracted by your worthless chime ins. Go on. I tell this sumbitch to walk the fuck out right now, or we done for the day. Go on. I'm sorry. Somebody trying to talk to me while I'm working? Go.
Not even going to address you. Just got to get you the fuck on up out of here. Hey, Angelica, how you doing? It's good to see you. Good to see you. But anyway, back to what we were doing here.
First, when young women were able to have children, we had a structure where they was able to be wedded off, and young men got.
Again, that's that color purple shit. There was never a structure around me that wed off young women. The only place you could have got that from, either it was done to you or done to somebody around you. There was a time when the legal age was, man, we're talking about the 1800s, folks. We're not talking about slavery now. We're not talking about any of that time. We're talking about when black people was free. So we're only talking about a couple hundred years. We're only talking about a couple hundred years. Let me address this before I put you on up out of here. I don't want to play 2 times in a row. I only got one daddy there, Bad Monsoon, Rad Monsoon, or whatever the fuck your Gorilla Monsoon, what the fuck you name, whatever your name is. But you know what though? What happens is monsoons, they always blow out. Fuck on up out of here. But anyway, back to what I was saying.
Older, they was a structure where they was already in parts of leadership. We don't have a society that's that mature. So even though they may be physically ready, they're not mentally ready, male or female, to late in the game because society isn't moving at the same.
Okay, if you know someone is not mentally ready, why would you want to fuck with them? If you know what basically what you just said, Illasophical, I don't know why you try to make your name sound so intelligent when actually you're speaking moronic tendencies. How the fuck does somebody measure that part, what you just said? As y'all like to use these big words, quantify what you just said. So let me go back and let you say it again. Okay? Quantify what you just said. Let me play it again for you.
What am I saying? Once upon a time, we had a society that moved at the speed of nature. So in other words, when young women were able to have children.
Okay, sir, what is the speed of nature? We sped up nature. Like I said, by putting these chemicals in food. We can look at the difference now. We got physical proof that the people that grew up in the 1970s, 80s, and on into the 90s are not as big as the folks that grew up in the 2000s, the 2001s, and on and on. We can physically see the transformation of America as a whole becoming a bigger society. We see young boys developing mustaches at alarming young rates. We see young women developing at it normally, which would normally be they hit the extreme part of puberty at what, 13, 14. We now seeing it happen in some cases as young as 10 or 11 and even younger. And so back then in nature, that didn't happen, sir. We sped up nature, Illasophical. Nature don't speed itself up. Nature doesn't know the concept of time.
We had a structure where they was able to be wedded off, and when young men got older, there was a structure where they was already in.
No, you can't go back into, except for nobility times when we're talking about king princes, and then we got to go almost to another planet, on another part of the world when we're talking about Africa, where young men like princes were betrothed, or in other parts of the country where the word betrothed comes into mind. But that was not going on in the anybody, again, using the color purple. You saw what Mr. saw the young chick one day, wanted one. The daddy said, no, you can't have that one here. You can have the ugly one. You can have the ugly one. And when the pretty one tried to save the ugly one, what did Mr. do? Ran her off so he can have total control of what he knew to be an underage girl. The daddy knew that she was an underage girl. And we can go throughout the history of Hollywood and television in any place that all of those particular things that you said, all of that happened in the past, because it does not happen now. You're not gonna get another movie like Blaming on Rio. You're not gonna get another movie like The Blue Lagoon. You're not gonna get a movie like JoJo Dancer, This Is Your Life. You're not going to get those movies anymore. Why? Because it shows the direct exploitation of children unapologetically. Ella, we'll move on to your next.
Yeah.
Parts of leadership. We don't have a society that's that mature. So even
society has matured, and we'd still be in the Stone Age. Society has definitely matured. We're now in remember one time we used to be in the Bronze Age, we was in the Stone Age, we was in the Industrial Age, we were in the Information Age. What age are we in now? So society has matured. Hey, Rogue C, how you doing? Great to see you as always. Good pleasure. Welcome into the front row.
Though they may be physically ready, they're not mentally ready, male or female, to late in the game.
So if they're not mentally ready, my question to you again, how do you know that? So what you're basically just said, the physical always trumps the mental. And once I found out that they're not mentally stable, that's when I leave them alone. That's what you just said. And you're going to back that up with this comment here in just a little bit.
Because society isn't moving at the speed of their natural ability.
Absolutely.
So I agree with you, but we're not there yet mentally to handle.
Absolutely. Right. And this is what it breaks down to, bro. Because we need to change these laws. If a 16
The laws were changed to protect that 16-year-old that you just about to speak on. The laws were changed to protect them from folks that think like what you're about to say. That's why the laws were changed, because we recognize and folks recognize that what you said was okay should be morally incorrect. And the moral aspect of it, you said you didn't give a fuck about, so we had to criminalize it. That was the only way to stop folks like you. Criminalize it. We'll fix you. Morally, we can't stop you. But criminally, I could put your black ass in jail for 20 years. I bet that'll stop you. Just think how many crimes would still be bestowed upon young girls and women if those crimes, if those statutes and different crimes weren't turned into laws. Common sense. I think that's a logical assessment. I'm glad you used the name, because I like using that from time to time. It's just not logical, man. I don't know why. This is a conversation that I don't have. This is not in my wheelhouse, and I don't think this is in your wheelhouse either. I don't think you and I, if we even ran into each other in a particular any setting, this would not be a conversation we would have. Both of us would come up the same conclusion, because I'm a DJ, so I do house parties, I do weddings and all these other places where young girls are there, and I'll be damned if I'm looking at the young girls at the party. I don't care what they're dressed like. That's just not in my wheelhouse. Oh, ain't she pretty? This your daughter. What's up, mama? Anyway, go ahead, girl. Take your daughter on in the house. What's up, mama? You got a husband? Oh, damn it. All right, my bad. Right. I'm out. I'm out of that. And you're going to hear, brother, you're going to hear him say something in a little while I find so fucking baffling. Welcome to the show, by the way, my man.
15-year-old boy were to go shoot somebody else, they'll take his ass to prison and charge him as an adult. Correct? Is he meant?
How do you equate a grown man chasing after a teenager, as a 15-year-old picking up a gun and willfully shooting somebody? How do you equate them two? How do you make that stretch? 2K? They're not even in the same ballpark. A grown man chasing after a teenager.
Mentally ready? No.
Absolutely not.
So when these young girls be in these environments.
Hey, Bomb Cherry, how you doing? Okay, before he even said, listen, am I going to say, are there not some young ladies and some young girls that put themselves in bad positions? Of course there is. Are there some, as they say, hot under the collar when they start smelling themselves? These are common phrases that I've heard throughout my life. When they start smelling themselves, that's when it's time to really buckle down. That's when it's time to tell them, nah, you can't wear that outside the house. If I hear you doing this on the bus, we got problems. If I hear you acting up like this, we got problems. That's where the parents come in at, but we're not talking about those kind of parents, 2K. We're talking about the parents that you're talking about that thought it was okay for a 24-year-old man to walk into their house and take their 16-year-old daughter out. That's the problem that you should be addressing. What makes us 24-year-old man with all these voluptuous young ladies out here that's 21 and older, even 20 and older? Like I said, I got the 5-year up and 5-year down rule. I'm 24. 20-year-old is not off limits to me. We got something in common. Chances are I met her out at a club where 24, 25, 26-year-olds and congregate.
Where there's nothing but grown men, I think.
Hey, Bomb Cherry, how you doing? I didn't see you coming in the back though. Always a pleasure having you. How Mr. Bomb doing? What's up, Mark? How you living, good brother? Good to see you. How the little one there? Well, he ain't too much little no more. Leaky ain't little no more. Folks, if you don't know, we actually watched this kid grow up in front of us out here. When we first started, I started hanging out with Bomb Cherry. Leaky was still in diapers, but now he's walking, talking, solving. Shout out to you, Bomb. Y'all did a great job with him.
That blaming men for that is a problem in itself. Now, he should take some of the blame. The parents should take some of the blame. But this person is making a conscious decision at this time in their life, whether they know what they are doing or not, to put themselves in this environment. That's fucked up.
What environment? Let me ask
I want to go to the girls and hear what y'all got to say.
Okay, before we go to the girls, let me ask y'all something. What 16-year-old y'all know got a driver's license? How many 16-year-olds y'all know got a driver's license? Hey, Lana, how you doing? Good to see you. Welcome in. Welcome into the front row. Any of y'all know? 16? Anybody know? I got a couple 16-year-old nieces. I don't think any of them had the driver's license. I know they can't wait to get it. They probably got a permit. I don't think they got a driver's license yet. Don't think so. Don't think they got a driver's license yet. That's what I mean, El Boogie. These reasons that they come up with, but the easiest part about it is they're easily debunkable. Before we get to the women, he's talking about we're still legally we're still talking about children. So okay, we've covered the legal aspect of it. So now we're only talking about morality now. Because legally, she can't get a license at 16. She has to do that with what? A parent. A parent has to be there to sign that particular paper that says that when she is he or she is in the car, I will be in that car with her until she is legal to get her driver's license. Until they get that, yes, they get that permit. Once they get that license, they can drive by themselves. Until then, At 16, you can't drive without a parent's permission, not with a permit. Someone, an adult, has to be in that car with you. And I know in South Carolina, I think it's the sundown effect. Once it's sundown, you can't drive at all. Not 16 with a permit. I could be wrong, but I know at one point in time that's how it was. But let's get back to it. Yes, once they get their driver's license, yes, they can at 16. Yeah, they can drive without their parents, but not with a permit. It can only be without their parents, but it still has to be an adult. I can't speak for every state, but I know in South Carolina there has to be an adult in the passenger side, an insured adult in the passenger side, in order for them to operate a motor vehicle.
Because she was exposing how old she was in these videos, like to me, like she wasn't complicit the entire time until she wasn't.
Okay, if someone fellas, if someone tells me, if you don't know, you don't know. Okay, I can understand with the development. I'm not even going to use that. I can understand now. If you walking down the road, if you driving a car, and you see a voluptuous feet. Notice I'm saying this. I'm gonna use this word. I didn't use the word girl. You see a voluptuous female figure, silhouette. You walk up to this silhouette, you have, as I like to call it, the nose of distinction. It has to click on you that fast. Wait a minute, this ain't no grown woman, this is a child. I can't do, fuck on up out of here. I don't think, fellas, am I wrong? You turn around quick, don't y'all? That's a little girl, man. Let me get the fuck up out of here. Absolutely, a child is a child, no matter what you think, cray. I don't care what she's built like. She could be built like a brick shit house. She is still a child. A boy could have muscles out the ass. He could look like Arnold Schwarzenegger at 14, but he is still a child. You're going to tell me Bo Jackson wasn't put together at 15, 16 years old? Stop it. So it's okay for a man to be well put together at 14, 15? But it's not okay for a woman to be developed at that without us over sexualizing her. Is that's where we at now? Because that's what it boils down to. If she got the body for it, she ready to perceive. He's about to say it. If she has the basic, what he's saying, if she has the hardware for it, she's already willing to accept. But you heard my man said he's laying the blame on the 16-year-old. How does the 16-year-old get in the club if it wasn't for the adult? How did she put herself in them situations? Most 16-year-olds, I know we had a debate about it, but most 16-year-olds don't drive. Some rare occurrences. I know I was in high school, and if we found out you was driving to school, you was overly impressed. Wow, you drive. Go out to the senior parking lot, you won't see very many cars out there, so it was easy to prove whether they was driving or not.
When it didn't fit her no more, she was willing to tell the world, hey, he was taking advantage of me, but you knew you was talking to an older man.
And he knew that he was talking to a younger woman. So no blame on his part. Let that sink in. No blame on his part. It's not that the adult take the responsibility here. Just blame it on her, Tukay, that she knew of course she knew she was talking to an older man. At 16, chances are damn near everybody she runs into outside of her family, I'm only guessing, school teachers are older, clergy are older. Just about every man that she runs into outside of her family, not unless she got brothers, her uncles are older. No, like I said, I'm not trying to make light of the situation. Some young girls make bad mistakes, because those mistakes sometimes cost them dearly. But it's still up to the parents to at least give them the idea of what's right and wrong. Well, no, little mama, at 16 years old, you ain't got no reason to be hanging out with a 24-year-old. You ain't ready for that yet, mentally or physically. You're not ready for that yet. Heartbreak only comes in one size, all hell.
So I supposed to act like you half dumb, half for the time, and the other time you smart. You knew to extort the nigga for the money. You want that dumb? So how do we keep on moving forward with this shit, knowing that these people know it's wrong, just like a 14?
I try to let this brother go through this, but you know, he says so much stuff that you have to stop and say, okay, I got little nieces and nephews, 7, 8. Do you tell me them they won't extort you out your last quarter? Uncle Music, can I have? Are you gonna tell them no? If you take them to the store, are they not going to try and get every little penny out of what you to buy them something? Is that the measure? Because she is, folks are naturally inclined for you to do something. A 16-year-old that sees somebody with that has money and is impressed, of course she's going to be impressed. Kids always trying to hit you up for money. They always got a reason why I need some money for something. I don't know what's that, Keith. Didn't know where it actually was brought from west from 1500 1550. I don't understand. Maybe you're talking to someone else there, Keith. I'm not understanding that. But as you can see, as I'm looking down in the particular chat here, folks, I think everybody's in agreements with me that children are naturally want you to spend money on them. So again, when you tell the child no, you know that might be okay. The child might act up a little bit, and you might give into it just to do whatever it can to stop the kid from crying. But if you don't get what the kid asks you to do sometime, and I'm just using just examples that we've all been through, I'm sure. What does the kid do? It might have a temper tantrum. It might say, "You don't love me no more. I'm gonna tell my daddy. I'm gonna tell my mama." You don't think this 16-year-old girl did not act up as a child? Because that's what she is. She's not, her frontal lobe is not used to being told no yet. You treat me good all the time. Why are you telling me no now? I don't know how we got on the West Africa conversation, Keith, but I'll let you, whoever you're talking to, enjoy yourself, brother. But this is we off the continent of Africa right now. We back here in the United States, so I don't know who you're talking to, Keith. But all right, let's go.
10-year-old boy know that killing a person is wrong. She know that having sex with an adult is wrong. So how do we move forward in reality? I'm gonna go to you first, Lucky.
Let me address.
Good morning.
Welcome to the shit.
Listen, if you're listening to me, Keith, I'm not sure. Let me read this right here. It says, conceptual value and not trying to be rude, but it's reality how you interpret the language does not have to push someone and form what you're doing. Well, I'm conceptually using the words right because I'm not talking about black men when I use the word nigger. That's conceptually, I'm addressing the people that I consider as niggas. I don't assign a color to it. You do. So conceptually, you're the one that's being, dare I use the word, ignorant, misinformed. If these two so-called men right here are not niggas, what are they? Now, if you don't agree with my interpretation of what the N-word is, and if you feel better that I used it, I suggest that you do one or two things, sir. You either click off or be quiet. Now, you're welcome to listen, but I'm going to continue on to what I was saying because I think this is a little bit more important of what I'm talking about children than how I use the N-word or the word nigger. All right, or who I reflected to and who I don't. I think what I'm talking about is a little bit more important. Don't you think so? Keith? Huh? Now, play nice. Sit over in the corner. I've moved you closer to the door. Any more outbursts from you, sir, I will put you outside.
Good morning.
Quite a question.
Welcome to the shit.
So I'm sorry I came in. So are we saying that the question is why isn't a child held accountable for having sex with an adult?
Well, I'm saying if they put, I'm not talking about the adult predator that's getting after them. Like they are literally putting themselves in the harm.
Of course you are. You can only be talking about them because if a man is interested in a child that way, he is. Some are labeled as, and some haven't been convicted yet. But morally, he still is exactly what you're describing. So you are talking about him, 2K. Notice how I'm speaking to you without being too overly rude about it, brother.
Way. Like they are in the clubs at a young age.
What's the age range you're saying they?
Let's say 16, 17 in a club in a 21 plus club.
So 16, 8 is
2K. Let me ask you something. This is another one of those questions that the streams that I've listened to that no one failed to ask you this question. What is a 16-year-old doing in a club that is supposed to be for 21 and adult? There's one way that she can get into there. Fake her ID. Right? And can you blame that on the establishment? Can you blame that on the bouncer? Or can you blame that on the person, the adult person that knew that she was using that ID, that fake ID for illegitimate purposes? Break it down to its smallest thing, folks, 2K. So what is a 16-year-old doing in a club? And how did you recognize her to be a 16-year-old? Because technically, according to you, this club is full of 21-year-olds. So how did you manage, 2K, to single out the 16-year-old? Don't y'all think that's a fair question? And a club full of 21-year-old females, all of them voluptuous, all of them looking good, all of them smelling good, all of them dancing, all of them drinking. How did you manage to pick out the voluptuous 16-year-old? I can probably tell you how you managed. You probably looked at her face and said, man, you can tell you can dress up any way you want to, but I know you ain't 21. I don't know how you got in here, but I know you ain't 21. They let you in here. I can't do nothing about letting you in here. But one thing I can do is stay the fuck away from you.
age of consent in 33 states, I believe.
Okay.
So it's not illegal in 33 states to have for a 16-year-old and up to have sex with an adult.
Okay, but it's still very, very.
Hold on a second. A bomb, you can't get away from that because we all know it's happened. You cannot get away from the young lady or the young man that has the fake ID because we know they both do. And in some cases, you know, to me, I'm gonna answer this question honestly, bomb. If you got to ask a motherfucker for the ID, something should be already, that should be a red flag for you to walk away already. If you got to ask a girl for her ID, you need to be moving on anyway. That's how I answer that. If you got to ask her for her ID, you should have left. You should leave her alone. Nah. Little mama, if I got to ask you for your ID, no thank you. If I ain't sure I'm dealing with a grown woman, right. You see, we're on the same page then. We on the same page. Right. We on the same page. And there's no sense in sugarcoating it. There's no sense in sugarcoating it. If you got to ask her for your ID, something already in your mind clicking telling you that she already too young. You absolutely right. So again, you can't blame this. I'm with these points of counteracting everything. These two, and some sense somebody want to come in and say, don't call them the N-word. Okay, I'll oblige. I don't mind being corrected. Don't call these men N-words. All right. All right. I'll call these men misinformed young men. Does that suit you better? But I don't think nobody else would call them that. I've seen a whole lot of folks call them a whole lot worse. Right. Well, I know. You what? Oh no! Listen, even if I was 30s and she put it, look, I'm old enough. You might be old enough to be in here, but you ain't old enough to be with me. No, ma'am. Goes past that. But let's go.
Very frowned upon. Like Boston Richard, he met her when she was 16, 17, one of the two, and he was 24. He's being rebranded as a pedo as we speak.
He ain't being rebranded.
Once again, reputational damage.
Sir.
Well,
sir.
The question was her being held accountable.
Lucky. You should have started that off. He ain't being rebranded. He's being exposed for what he is.
Accountable. I don't think you can hold her accountable as she was 6. If it were in a state where they had sex and it was age of consent, there's nothing wrong with it.
Fuck the age of consent, right?
Whether we agree or not.
So this nigga said, fuck the age of consent. See, that's exactly what I mean. That's exactly what I mean. These niggas said, fuck morality. But you gonna come in here complaining about the N-word. Fuck the N-word. How about that? I think morality trumps the N-word. Go over there and complain to all those other platforms over there that's using the N-word with impunity. Fuck up out of here. Now I'm mad.
That's what I'm saying. So we talking about social media backlash. You can't stop people from having an opinion about why a grown man finds a teenager attractive. I think that's more of the question, because typically when you think about compatibility, you're talking about like-minded. I don't really know grown men that got shit to do that really are attracted to young-minded women in general. Even women who are up in age, they call them childish. So I think it's more of a mindset about a man to be attracted to a teenager.
Oh, they don't like that. They don't like that. Did y'all hear that just now? Did y'all hear that mic drop? Them niggas don't like that. Them two niggas right there don't like that. It's more about the mindset of those that came in here and Jas Noelle's stream. Those that you will come in here and disrupt. Those were you that will come in here and say these two men were right. And Taz, I don't know if you'll ever listen to this. But I agree with your brother, but to be quite honest with you, I think you were too lenient on this nigga. To be quite honest with you, I think you were too lenient.
It's like a woman to be attracted to a teenager.
Okay, so this is why
your girlfriend has a backpack.
Okay, so
she's trying to get her diploma. That's your woman, and you gotta wait till she can get liquor. So it's kind of like a mindset. What
I don't. Cray. Yes, I am African American, and do I have a problem with the word when it's used at me for absolutely? Because I listen. All I'm gonna say is hit dogs holler. Hit dogs holler. I don't address my friends that way. I don't address acquaintance that way. I address niggas just as they are, niggas. I don't think I really need to explain that anymore, because that's what they are. Look up the word. No, because y'all feel it's stigmatized to folks with darker skin, that's on you. I don't use it in that context. I'm using it exactly how it should be used. A stupid person. I'm using it as it is, just because you believe that the negative connotation behind it is used that way. And I'm not speaking of you. Well, Cray, what would you go ahead? I'll be like that. Go ahead. What would be the purpose? See, go ahead, use it. What would be your purpose? What for? To prove what point? Hey, ABT. What would be your purpose to using the word? Is it of good intent? Or will it be of malice? Or would it be to prove a point? The provable point is I could say it without getting in trouble, but you say it already. You just didn't vocalize it, but you said it. You said it already. You just didn't vocalize it, or you didn't type it. Well, my son ain't mixed, but I use it in its correct term. I use it. I wouldn't call my son that because he isn't. I don't think you would call your son that either. Again, you're using it as a racial connotation. I'm not. And that's the difference between me and you, sir. You see it as a racial connotation. I don't. You understand? You can't see them, Bob? I'm not on YouTube, Bum, or I would give you a wrench. I don't know if I can do it over here on StreamYard. But what I'll do is I'll drop the link here in a little bit. If any of y'all want to come up, and please, when you come up, let's not derail the conversation here. I know color really has nothing to do with this right now, but I just needed to address this right quick, But I'll drop the link here in just a little bit.
What are you trying to groom her as that you couldn't do for a 21-year-old?
Okay, so hold on. You kind of blurring the lines a little bit, right? Because if it was that
you want to say the conversation, that's a conversation.
Yeah, that is a conversation, but they not actually walking around with a backpack on and books in their hand. All right, trust me.
But you understand the way it's looked at.
Still
going to school.
They're
high school.
Okay, I don't know the situation with them. I can't speak it all the way into it, right? But what I was saying, that this is why I led the conversation where something can be illegal and right or wrong, right? Just because it's illegal don't mean that it's wrong, right? Like,
yes, it does.
A couple months ago, like I got into an altercation. I was right for protecting my family, but that was illegal, and I'm being prosecuted as such.
Okay, so it was wrong. Regardless to whether you thought it was legal, it was wrong. So you're being prosecuted as such. Maybe was lesser sentence of something, whatever. Maybe they didn't charge you to the fullest the extent of the law, but they charged you with something. So that alone, by your statement alone, you did something wrong. You're right. You're absolutely right. You're right. And listen, one thing you can't say logic assessment. I use logic too, and logically says I should be able to articulate myself a little bit better without using the N-word. No problem at all. Absolutely no problem at all.
Morally, out here. Mm-hmm. Because we know, all of us know the high school girl that was talking to the grown man.
Correct.
All of us. Matter of fact, I think.
Well, that's why I changed the scenario for you, and I said 16 is age of consent in most states, so it's legal. So we can make it correct all the way around. I'm just saying that you wanted to address people's mindset, and so I'm addressing why we're looking at it that way. Because if you look at a 16-year-old, she's still going to school, even though it's legal. She's still going to school. So you have to, if you want to pick her up, you have to drop her off in the morning. She still has to get a diploma, unless you saying your girlfriend dropped out of high school, but she's still 16. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like the question.
Let me say this to you. Maybe 2K and maybe maybe it'll drop into you this way. Hey, little mama, you done your homework yet? You ready for school in the morning? I got to drop you off at school. Most of us, when we hear that, we think we're talking to our children. In your case, what you're describing, Illa and 2K, you're talking to a woman. In your mindset, you're talking to your woman. I got to pick you up at school tomorrow. What you do in school today? When you graduate? That's the kind of woman you want? That's not a woman, that's a girl. Because when she's at school, she's not able to do what she's want to do. The only time she is free to do what she wants to do is what? When? No, No, Cray Cray. It's not a question of whether I'm white, black, or indifferent. And that's what I was trying to point out to you. It's whether it's not about your color of using the word. It's your intent. And we know historically we know the intent of the word when white folks use it. We know the intent of it. Let's not what's the word I'm looking for? Let's not juggle apples and oranges. Let's not make me go down that historical path. Okay? Let's not slide down that path.
Question is, why do grown men of a certain age find 16-year-olds attractive? That's the question. You said I'm making it seem like something. That's the question.
Okay, you got it, Ear.
Yes, yes, I do believe in
that's fair, but I think you.
But before we get to Ella, let me answer this. Yes, I do believe in defending my family at all costs. And if sometimes meaning I have to take the L to defend my family, I'd much rather take that L Boogie. I really would. If it comes down to defending my family, I'll take the L. I sure will.
Worded that way, it takes away from the historical, obvious relationship that we've seen since we were children. That was younger women with older men.
How does it take it away? Even if you ask what made them attractive to a 14-year-old?
Because the way I mean, 14, it just 16 is, it sounds bad, but the thing is this, right? I don't deal with younger chicks, but all my life I seen teenage girls in high school deal with older men.
Thanks.
Like no one made them do it. They did it all.
Okay. My first question to you, listen. When I graduated high school, I made one appearance in my high school. And that's after I graduated boot camp. I went back to my ROTC folks and my instructors, and I let them know that I graduated Marine Corps boot camp. I didn't go there to see what girls was dating, who was there, because that wasn't my business. I'm not in high school anymore. So my question to you, Ella, is when do you go back to visit your high school to the fact that you're observing who these young folks are dating? So again, folks, you have to listen with intent. You have to listen to the intent that these men are trying to tell you. They're speaking intelligently. But if you stop and listen to them, they're not speaking with any intelligence at all. They're just saying anything. And if you listen to it, you will see that what he just said just now made absolutely no sense. What are you doing at a high school? You should be out working. You should be out living your life. What the fuck are you doing at a high school? That's the first mistake.
All the time. You know what I'm saying? A lot of our grandfathers, they 10 years older than grandma. So at 16 and 26 was crazy. At 26 and 36 is okay. So
hey, let me ask y'all, maybe I'm wrong for this, but my parents weren't 10 years apart. My grandfather and my great-grandpeople weren't, grandfather and grandmother weren't 10 years apart. They maybe were 5, 6. Maybe that's why I get the 5 years up, 5 years down rule from. But none of my parents, my grandparents were that far apart. Nah. What about yours? Hey, Lana. Bomb Cherry, you on the way over here. I tell you what, folks, I'm going to go ahead and drop the link. And please, if you take the link and if you come up, please be mindful and respectful. And you're welcome to come up and offer your opinion on this.
it's the same age gap. It's the same mental gap. It's just later. So what I'm saying is,
how is
what women don't realize is with men.
See, this is where you have to stop it, and this is where Illa realizes that anyone that examines what you say and can examine what you say, I would stop you right there. And what you say, what you mean, the same mental gap. There's no way that you can tell me that a gap is the same. The fact that you're using gap means there is a separation, so it can't be the same. There's no physical, there's no proof that a 16-year-old thinks like a 32-year-old. It's scientifically proven that where children mature at. And it also shows scientifically that females mature faster than men. They think quicker on their feet. So you're not going to tell me that a 24-year-old is thinking the same way a 16-year-old is. So for you, the word mental age gap is already a mental age gap. And absolutely isn't. So I don't even know why he said that. A 16-year-old mind is not the same as a 24-year-old mind, even if they are male or female. A 16-year-old mind is not the same as a 16-year-old mind of a male, or vice versa. It's not the same. That's why they use the term, damn, I growed up. Damn, I'm growing up. The shit I did at 20, I can't do at 30 no more. Damn, I'm growing up.
Seeing women, it's not her maturity. A woman is ready for a man when she's physically able to sexually take him on.
Yeah.
A woman, and I think this is the part that got you in trouble, Illa. This was the part right here. As soon as you open up your mouth, that's why I say a lot of times, folks, don't say anything. You let them talk and they tell on themselves. He saw nothing wrong with that statement. He felt that he was correct. So that this is where I stepped on with him and Taz. He was over at Taz's, or Taz had him up wherever he was at. He was trying to defend this statement. He was trying to defend this. So let me back it up again and make sure that you folks hear it correctly.
Only
a lot of our grandfathers, they 10 years older than grandma. So at 16 and 26 was crazy. But at 26 and 36 is okay. So it's the same age gap. It's the same mental gap. It's just later. So what I'm saying is, what women don't realize is, what men see in women, it's not her maturity.
What men see in women is not her maturity. He says that, and then he follows it up with this.
A woman is ready for a man when she's physically able to sexually take him on.
Yeah.
So basically what he's saying is, I don't see you. All I see you for is your body. I don't see you for your mind. I see you as a physical vessel that's able to take me on. That's it. Once I look at you that way, that is it. That is it. And that's exactly what he's saying, Roxy. That's exactly what he's saying. He tried to defend this. There's no defense for what you just said, Ella. There's absolutely no defense for this. I'd be a damn fool to come up here and try to defend that. So I'll play it again so maybe you'll understand why folks are really upset with you, because you were thinking that you had a mic drop moment, but you just actually, even if you aren't, you gave people to suspect you as with this statement here. So I'll play it again, and maybe you can do, as Brown Bill said, remove this shit from the top of your value system if you think this way.
Yeah, it sounds bad, but the thing is this, right? I don't deal with younger chicks, but all my life I seen teenage girls in high school deal with older men.
Thanks.
Like, no one made them do it. They did it all the time. You know
They're
what I'm saying?
only
A lot of our grandfathers, they 10 years older than grandma. So at 16 and 26 was crazy. But at 26 and 36 is okay. So it's the same age gap. It's the same mental gap. It's just later. So what I'm saying is, what women don't realize is, what men see in women, it's not her maturity. A woman is ready for a man when she's physically able to sexually take him on.
Yeah.
That's the litmus for a woman. What she becomes,
He says that is the
going to be
litmus.
built by something.
He said that is the litmus for a woman. She's going to be built by something. He didn't use the. See, one thing I will say, I won't say he's a wordsmith, but he knows what words not to use. Basically, what he was saying, she's going to be got by something, so it might as well be me. And as soon as I see that you're ready to receive me, there's nothing. This is out your own words, which is subject to interpretation. And me as a grown man, this is how I'm interpreting it. Craig, you're with me too. This is horrific. What you're saying is horrific. I pray that you don't have daughters, because sooner or later, a man going to hear you say this and say to you, well, Illa, this is what you said. That when your daughter turns 16, and if I think she's sexually ready to receive me, there's nothing you could say. There's nothing you could do. And no, she's not, Glow Vibes. No, she's not. No matter how you say it, no matter how you as a grown man try to frame that, she is not ready to receive you. Like I say, in the country, we call it being hot under the pants. That's what the ladies say to these young girls that come out here these days. Remember, y'all, listen, I got to go back to this, and I don't know why nobody ever really called Tyler Perry out for this. But y'all remember the scene where all the old men were sitting around? And the young girl came on with the booty shorts on, and they bent over to get some sodas. What made Tyler Perry put that in the movie? What made him do that?
Whether it be her job, whether it be her career, whether it be her fraternity, sorority, whether it be her friend, she's adding. She had to download something from somewhere. So the problem is, a lot of men may not be able to mentally mold her into what they need her to be, or to be a better woman. But that's not what they're looking for. It's when she's able to handle that man's sexuality. That's when she's ready. That's why I hate to sound weird, but I'm just
no. What you're saying is, folks, again, this type dude would not be around me and my friends, because this is conversation that we don't have. He's being covert about his conversation, but we all know what he's saying. And I don't need to get vulgar, but we all know exactly what he's saying. And I hope Lucky straightens this out. And I think she does. Go ahead, Lucky.
That's from a man's perspective.
I'm not, because I'm trying to take it on the question, because we're saying, why isn't that girl held accountable? So I took it away. 16 is legal. Let's say we're in a state where it's legal. Let's just talk about it. Why it's frowned upon is the question is, regardless of the age, she could be 18. The question is, why does but we're not calling an 18-year-old a pedophile for talking to a 16-year-old. So he's like, there's a backlash. The question is, why is a man attracted to a 16-year-old? You said
that want the question. That's the question you proposed.
Wait.
Okay. Again, hey, what's up there, Rude? How you doing? Instead of them answering the question, because there's no justification for that. Why is a grown man attracted to a 16-year-old? They would have to go into detail, and they can't. One thing they will not be able to use for her brains. They can't use that for her brains. Hey, Bomb Cherry, how you doing? Welcome.
Hey, Mr. Music, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you? How are you? And what you got? What you thinking so far?
I'm thinking you're on track, right? But I disagree a little bit with her, because what happens is we are grown now, right? We're adults, and we still like to go back and reach back to little girls and still blame them, right? So when you even mentioned when they used to say a little girl being hot in the pants, I remember that being even said about me, who wasn't even into boys at the time, right? But because I was around boys, because I was a tomboy. But what I'm saying is, little girls, just because somebody say, hey, you shouldn't wear that, she don't if nobody sit down and explain it to her, but even then she don't understand that, hey, how is it that I'm wearing this because I look good in this, right? Society says this is how, if I want to be pretty and and be known, this is how I should be dressing. So that's why she dresses that way. What she don't understand is the grown adults around her and how they will perceive her and misuse her, mistreat her. That's what she don't know. Kids don't know that, usually because right, their brains aren't fully developed to understand consequences to what they are doing.
Absolutely, I agree with you. Absolutely, Mom. They're not fully developed, and they're not. And the majority of the time, we as the parents buy our children their clothes. So we're not going. We don't. Of course, I had sisters, so I know that my sisters went out and bought some stuff that my parents wouldn't agree with. But for the most part, most parents will say, "Hey, don't wear that. It's not they're being malicious." We all understand there's some no good folks out there. Am I right?
And so even though I may have worn something that my parents didn't want me to wear, like when I got to school, I changed up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
The society is putting the blame on the children instead of putting the blame where it should be on the adults.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I should be able to wear what I want, however I want as a child, and still not be worried, have to worry about adults coming to manipulate me in some way.
I would agree. You won't get any pushback from me on that. You should be able to. That's why I mentioned that earlier. Could you imagine these folks on the beach?
Right. So,
but a 16.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Year-old can only have access to a grown man that already sees her attractive. So regardless of the fact, you have also had men that used to tell young girls, get your fast ass in the house. You have those men too. So the men that don't are the men that we see hang out. We know them all of that. I have.
What you think about that statement right there, Bomb? She says the men that don't give those young girls that warning are usually the men that you see preying on these type girls. Exactly.
Because remember earlier that man said, he used to sit back and watch them little girls with grown men. And the reason he watched that is because he too was watching them young girls. Not to protect them, but he was watching them. He probably even realized when he was. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
To be next in line?
Yes. To see how they move, to see how he can get in there, slip and slide, and and become a part of that group of men.
Listen, I wish I could say I disagree with you, Bomb, but you're hearing it for yourself. There's nothing that I just said or she just said that you can't go back and verify, because he said it himself.
Female friends that dated older men in high school and they do not feel like they were in any type of mental whatever because they were having sex regardless. But I'm saying the reason why it's frowned upon is the question that men always get away from and they never can answer. Matter of fact, is why do they find teenagers attractive, even if it's 14, grandma, whatever?
He just told you that.
You just worded it, but it's just the way you're wording it. You keep saying,
so a 20-year-old is not attractive.
Well, how was she supposed to word it?
He wanted worded where people can swallow it and be okay with it. See, when she worded plainly as what it is, grown men liking children, they don't like that. So they want to word it a little smoother, so
a little softer. Right, a little softer for them so they can swallow it a little bit easier. And where they think they can come with some great idea to why it happens.
Yeah.
Okay. But I can't think of another way. I use the old adage, folks don't hear you till you scream at them. So that was like a slap in the face. Did you notice how he stammered?
Yes.
Answer.
You know what I'm saying?
You keep saying the word teenager. So when people hear the word teenager, let me finish. Let me answer. You say the word teenager, an image comes up. But attraction is one thing. Acting on attraction is another. There you can see a girl that's 17 that looks 25 and be like in your mind like, yo, she look
right.
Like
but once you know,
but once you act on it, it's another
it don't
thing.
change.
Is why. The question you asking is why they're attracted. They're attracted because they look like an attractive woman.
But before she answers that, and listen, let me say, as a grown man, and if I'm in a grocery store and if I'm somewhere and I see as a big butt, But then if I turn around, that big butt is a smile, and I can clearly see that that is a child, that interest is gone.
Right. And see, and that's what the play, that's why they don't like the word teenager, which is an actual word and definitely have a definition, right? They don't like that. They either like teenagers because, like you just mentioned, a big butt may be not so much on a teenager as much as on a grown woman. You know what I mean? But these men, a lot of these men like that childlike body style. They don't want to admit that. You know, it's different when you come across a teenager who is built like a grown woman, but you know that doesn't come around a whole lot.
Right, that's right. I know exactly what you're saying. So that's what I'm saying. When you see that, and then all of a sudden you turn around, that's that case that you say, you know what, that shit there is off limits. That's a child right there, regardless of what he built like. That's a child.
Exactly. But see, these men, but they talking differently because that's why they'll bring up she's in a club. You know, they bring up all kinds of things where they're going to blame her no matter what because they say she shouldn't have been there. But the truth is they the ones who probably, once they realize how old she is, they want an excuse to even continue on.
Well, I met her in the I met her in the club. That's
right.
That's not an excuse for immorality.
Exactly. You met her in the club, and then but after you spoke to her enough to even get to a bedroom or in another area, you realized that she was not the age that you thought she may have been originally.
Right. What about this statement right here, Bomb? I'm glad you came up. Lady Chantel says, and Simone says, welcome to the show. She says, some black male can only relate to very younger or childish women mentally. I've heard that statement go around to a lot of different places. So what you think about that?
No, I agree with that. I agree. But even then, just because she's younger don't mean she's childish, but he is childish. You see what I'm saying?
He's in his childlike mentality.
Yeah, he's still, but he's a grown man though. And so that's where they come in and they start liking little, younger girls because they still want to play video games, right? They still want to not really go to work or anything. They still want to act like they still going to high school and not have any responsibility. And they want to sleep with this young girl, get her pregnant, and now he's bogged down with more responsibility. And that's when they start disliking women, y'all, because, his actions come with more.
The little bit of pushback that I would give you, and I think L Boogie's like this. She says, I think it applies to all men, not just black. Would you agree with that?
Oh, yeah. When I'm talking about this, I'm speaking along the lines of men, not just black men.
Right.
But once you realize it's just like you can be, but Illa, that's just like saying
obvious.
when you see something walking down the street, you don't know it's a man. But once you find out it's a man, it doesn't change what's attractive, but you change your desire because you're not attracted to men. So
what about that? It doesn't change your desire. It does change your attraction because once you found that is a man, you're not attracted to men.
Right. See, and I mention that a lot when I say that men have nice bodies too, right? You men can't perceive that because you're not attracted to men, so you don't never look to see if he got a nice butt or this or that, right? Nice
right,
leg.
None of that. Right. That was uncomfortable what you even saying that next to me.
Right.
Right.
So, but she made his point, right? Because she disproved his point because he trying to say, hey, once I saw it, it's attractive. And even when I realized that it's young, I'm still attracted to it. And she just said, well, no, from the back, you might notice that person has nice legs and a nice butt. When he turned around, though, he had a full beard in that dress. He automatically went from being attracted.
The whole hell no. Right. The whole hell no. Right. I guarantee it. If you saw that in a dress, turned around and had a full beard, I don't think any of these two gentlemen, and I use the term loosely, would say, "Yeah, come on, go with me."
Mm-hmm.
But that's to Lucky's point. It's all about now. It becomes a question of morality. You know that this girl is young, but you still, based on what she looks like, is willing to go through with your feelings, so to speak.
It's
That's
the same. If you're not attracted to a
That's
teenager,
wild.
you would change
That's
your desire if
wild.
you're not attracted to a
That's a
teenager.
huge
What are we
difference.
talking
That's
about?
a
It's like if
huge
I find
difference.
if I see a
Nah.
man, if
That's a
I see
huge
a man and I'm like,
difference. You
dang,
said
he
why.
fine, and he like, oh, I'm 19. Oh no, that's the instant thing.
But we didn't ask you why are you attracted. You the question you're asking is why are they being with them? That's a fair
Because
question.
they know her
That's
age.
different, but
So
that's
the
two different
question is
questions.
about
That's two
once
different
you know her age, you are attracted to a teenager.
So Lucky, hold on. So Lucky.
Now, see, all this argument and all this fussing and fighting, but the point of the matter is they still never got to the point that I'm still trying to been pressing to these fellas. It's about morality. Right now, you're not arguing consent. You're arguing morality, because now both of you acknowledge it, that the girl that you're talking about is underage. So you're not arguing legalities. You're arguing morality right now. So morally speaking, you two are okay with grown men sleeping with a 16-year-old. You even give out some numbers. Bump?
Yeah, no, that you're right.
Wait, see, this is what the issue get, because it
No,
makes
because
it seem like I'm wrong for asking. Instead of
I'm trying to answer. Let's really talk about it, because I'm gonna say the weird shit, right? Because see, you win it because the nigga don't want to be weird. All right, just
why is it weird?
Hold on,
though?
wait,
You're trying to
wait,
convince
time,
me it's not weird, so you
because
don't think
no,
it's weird, so you
hold on,
think
look it,
it's
because we
weird.
in today's
Tell me it's
society.
not weird,
It's bro. Some of the shit that we do not weird, but you just can't say out loud because they're going to deem you as weird. Okay, now what you said, Lucky, was, hey, how can you say, oh, that 16-year-old cute, find out that she's 16 and still find her attractive? No, if she was
That's not what I said.
That's exactly what you said.
You said, how can I say that 16-year-old is cute?
You said teenager.
The understanding was you didn't know she was 16.
It don't matter. You learning her age, if you are attracted to her, you learning her age means nothing. That just means you don't pursue her.
That's what I'm saying.
That means everything. So what's the argument about? Once you find out that this child, even though you met her somewhere strange, even if you met her in the club, I don't know how you ran into a 16-year-old in the club, but once you find out, why are you arguing about what's the reason why you're walking away? There is no argument. Or am I missing something?
No, I'm not understanding where they're going either. So, see, they try to, like I said, they try to make it palatable. So they're saying, hey, I'm still attracted to her, but I don't pursue her now because she's underage. Right?
So correct me if I'm wrong. So even though they might say it out loud, but given the opportunity, but they're going back to what they said, as long as she's comfortable with it and don't tell nobody, I'm gonna do it.
Exactly. And that's why they don't like, the way she worded it. They don't like it. Because that's why he said, hey, it's true, but if you say it in today's society, people gonna call you weird, even though it's not weird. So these men, and when I say these black men, I am talking about a particular group of black men who are believe in these type of black men, where they willing to be, they call it what they call locker room talk. They'll say where they'll say it in the privacy of amongst each other, hooray each other, high five each other for it. But then they know when they go outside that door, amongst others, they know it's going to be thought of as either criminal or just immoral and all kinds of things.
Right. And I think they know that. So again, when you call folks out like this, right? Again, to me, there's absolutely no defense for this, and they're comfortable with their circles, and you can tell that this. To be quite honest with you, maybe I'm wrong, but you can tell that these two fellas right here have had this conversation about underage girls before.
Of course, they had the conversations, probably dealt with them, but that happens in the space that we're in, right? So right now, you know, these conversations aren't new, but right now these two in this conversation are trying to bring it back and make it popular again, where the men can admit to wanting to be with little girls again.
Let me ask you something, Bomb. Was there a graduating class of these fellas from the Lapeef Network?
Say it again.
I said, was there a graduating class from these guys from the Lapeef Network? Because a lot of them come from there, don't they?
Oh, I don't even know. You know, the Lapeef, I didn't really watch them, but I don't even know who these men are, to be honest. I only know Lucky Marie. That's the only one up here I know.
Yeah, I was curious what's MAP too, but I think from what I see, because I wouldn't have known them. Just funny that you said that, because like I said, I wouldn't have known who Illa is, because of course he's had a few run-ins that I've seen him in some other spaces. I think the last time I saw him, he had a run-in with Sharon, so that's where I know him from. This guy right here, he had a run-in with Sharon.
Which guy?
Illa.
Oh, which one is Illa?
The one on the bottom, the one that's next to Lucky. Yeah, that's where I know him from. I know this guy Tukay from the Anton Daniels Defense Fund. That's where I know him.
That's the one at the top, right?
Yeah, yes. This other person, I don't know her. Lucky, I've seen her around the spaces, but I really don't know her that well. Matter of fact, I don't know her.
Remember, Lucky was the one she used to deal with Daryl Long. And he'd been stalking her for years.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's a whole nother show. I'm gonna get out of that quickly.
Yeah. But Lucky, yeah. So she making a whole lot of sense. These men just don't like the one who was talking sexual. Like, to be honest, you know, first of all, you asked the question earlier. I answered it in the chat. My parents were not far apart in age. My grandparents was not far apart in age. Now, I'm not saying there weren't any, but for the most part, I didn't, you know, when you go back, you don't see where the granddad or whatever was like 10, 15 years older.
No, you don't see that. I'm sorry, I don't know where they got that concept from, because my pops had brothers and sisters, and of course they went on to marry. So my uncles and none of them was this huge age gap. It may have been 2 years up, 3 years up, 4 years up, 4 years down, or whatever. But there was no huge age gap in any of them, and I can't remember that. I honestly can't remember that.
See, that's some shit that in other cultures, other countries, right, where the daughter was sold or provided to another man who needed a wife. You know what I mean? And it kind of goes to that purple. What's the name of it?
The color purple.
Color Purple movie. Hey. And so some people start basing their families on that movie. They take little aspects of it, you know, and try to say, okay, my family. But no, it's a whole lot of lies being told in this space.
Absolutely. Another movie that comes to mind that I think a lot of them I try to mimic sometimes is Eve's Bayou. You remember that movie?
Oh yeah, that's one of my favorites.
Yeah. So I think that a lot of recognize that these older men that chase these young girls, that, dare I say, in some cases the parents are okay with, and some of them reconcile that through their, dare I say, their desires through movies, because they do it all the time.
Yeah, each Bayou though, the wives and husbands, they always around the same age.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, nobody. Yeah, so that nobody was as older. So yeah, these what's happening is we rewriting history based on movies. I see it too much going on, you know. And and it's ridiculous. But
Yeah.
so now we got these grown men, and the reason why they're rewriting it is a reason, right? Because it's to their benefit. Since they want to be with young girls, they decided that even though they hate The Color Purple, they hate that movie. Black men hate that movie.
Hate that movie with a
They
passion.
hate it with a passion.
Yes,
but
they
they decided they're gonna grab that portion
because of Mr.
Yeah, that's right. They're gonna grab that part, which is the worst part, right? Because even though Mr. was older than Celie, he wasn't that much older.
Celie was still a child.
She was still a child when he got, but he was a young adult. So yeah, he was older. Right. But remember, with his children, he married a woman his age.
Yeah.
You know,
sure did.
But what the part that they grabbed is Celie's dad, right? She was having babies for her father, and she was really young when that was happening.
Yeah, right.
He was called a spoil, remember?
Yeah, I remember the movie quite well, and it's you could do a whole stream on The Color Purple and break it down. Even dare I use the word, the incestuous parts of it that folks don't talk about.
Yeah. But you know that wasn't her real dad. She found out that that wasn't her real dad. So
I didn't take that to the end. So basically, what she thought was her dad wasn't her dad. So it was just another one of them PDFers that got her at a young age and was having relations with her at a very young age, even younger than when Mr. found her.
Exactly. But that's what these men grab onto.
That seems to me.
Yeah.
That's what I literally just said. So what if you know her age and you pursue her, the question still remains because you know her age now. What are we missing?
So that's why you shouldn't be with them. But you said attraction. Attraction
because
means
once
look at something and find it
okay, so now we want to be word playing.
No, that's what you said.
Attraction could be a mindset. Attraction could be a lot of things. I'm not just talking about physical. Because to even pursue beyond that, something else is attractive. Because
this is from King Picks. You know, King Picks, you and I don't disagree on much, but I disagree on this one. I think Illasophical had plenty of opportunities to rectify this comment before it got to me. But it seems to me the more he talks about it, the deeper he sinks.
I also want to say to King Picks, this is my thing, right? I want you to listen to me when I say this. We do not know each other online, right? I think y'all need to stop deciding what people are and aren't, because there have been men in this space actively who are in jail right now for doing all types of things. But being a pedo is one of the most highest. Like, I don't know why y'all think because y'all can listen to someone even when they talk that pedo shit and then say, well, I don't think they really want. Yeah, this is exactly what pedos believe. They believe in what these men are saying.
Yes. It's easier to hide out amongst the crowd when you think the crowd doesn't believe that you could do that. It's easier to blend in. It's easier to blend in, King Picks. Now, again, you and I don't disagree on much, but on this one, it's not up to me to correct this young, and I'm gonna use this gingerly. It's not up to me to correct this young brother. It's up to this young brother to correct himself. And just like
they doing the show that they hoping that may go viral, which they want the most people to see it. That's why you do the shows, right? And he's saying the things he's saying. So I mean, and they standing on it. He even put up against a young boy pewing somebody versus a young girl just being in a space wanting to be pretty.
Right. There's no comparison to that. Again, these are the things
That was
there's
crazy.
absolute right. No comparison to that. But again, we're not here to run cover for these men. I'm here to exploit. Now, if I'm wrong about what I'm saying, so far, other than this one statement, I don't think nobody can tell me that I've been wrong, because grown men don't talk like this. This is not a conversation that I would have with my brother coming from a job, at a job, or anything. This is not a conversation that my nephews would have. This is not a conversation that my son would have. A debate about the word woman and teenager. The mere fact that a teenager comes into play should be enough for you as a grown man to say, let me walk away from that.
Right. This is now what they call locker room talk, that they're doing wide open in front of everybody, and we can see who they are. And some of the men, like King Pix, want to say, well, I see him because he sound like a duck. He even look like a duck, but we're not going to say he a duck.
Right.
To be fair.
Right. And like Angelica just said, if it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, and you see it in a pond, what the fuck is it, King Pitts?
Hey, Angelica.
It's a duck.
It's a duck. Now, am I saying that he's done? Because you don't have to have acted on something to be that. And y'all need to go look up the definitions to these words, right? You can be there, and they got a lot of terms depending on the age of the child, right? But if you are interested, attracted to these kids, right? So if you're attracted to her, then find out her age, and he's saying that he's still attracted to her, then guess what he is? Go look up that definition to that word.
Go look up it. Absolutely. And it ain't by guilt by association. If you can check up all the box, it is what it is.
Right.
And so far, if we regardless what we're supposed to sit around and wait till they act on it.
That's crazy, right? Because once you act on it, then you are actually a criminal. But you can be a pedo and not be a criminal because you haven't acted on it. But if you go look up the definition of that word, and this man is fighting to say, hey, I'm attracted. Just because I'm attracted, it's natural to be attracted. That's what he's fighting. They fighting right now to say, hey, they saw her and they was attracted, and then they realized her age. They still attracted. They just not acting on it.
Right. And that's no matter how you look at it, that's what it is. There's as the song goes, there's a thin line between love and hate. There's no thin line here. You either on that side or you're not. You're either attracted to a young girl or you're not. There's no in between that. There's no reasoning behind that. Anybody would ever go find any place to where I would defend this type of behavior. There's no defense for it. Not in my world. Maybe in the world that you live in, but not in my world. And from what I'm seeing in the majority of people's world, that you wouldn't be not using this word weird if you didn't think it was from the beginning.
Right.
If a woman that's 20, she sees a 19-year-old 5-star All-American college player.
Yeah, but he don't want the 19-year-old. He wants the 16.
He may not deal with. She's 38. He's 18. Say he's 17. Ryan Williams. He was a freshman for the University of Alabama last year. He was 17. She could look at him and say, "Oh, he's in shape. He's attractive." In her mind, that don't mean she got to deal with him. So what I'm saying is, there's two different. You asked why are they attracted, and I told us that they're attracted to them because they look like grown women. But being with them is another question.
Yeah.
You said why they're attracted to them because they have breasts like a grown woman and they have bodies
That's
like
not
a grown
why
woman.
though. Because the same way
that's what they're attracted. They looking at their body. That's the only thing they looking at.
Okay.
Again,
there, Mr. Music.
Go right ahead, Bob.
Because these men not making sense, right?
No,
he's saying he attracted to her, and then he mentioning body parts.
Mm-hmm.
So if what he's saying is true, he would be attracted to all women who got breasts and a butt, maybe in a shape that he liked. But what Lucky is trying to say to him, and he back, look, this man is ridiculous in what he's saying. Okay, Because he's admitting that, okay, they break women or girls down to body parts.
Tits and ass.
Yeah. Now, Mr. Music, I see that happening when men are younger. When especially when you're boys and you hit
We don't do
puberty.
that. The older we get, the less we do that, Bomb. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes. Yeah, you got to it real quick.
You're absolutely right. The older we get, the less we do that.
Exactly. So I think even young girls, even we women, we understand that we understand when you're younger. But those of us who are a little older, I watch men, I watch y'all as y'all got more older, more mature is the word that I would go with. And that stuff become least important.
That's right.
It becomes almost kind of not important at all, to where you're looking for something else.
And you're not wrong for saying
your mind, your brain.
Right.
Huh?
Absolutely right. You're absolutely right. You're not wrong for saying that, because we've had conversations on your panel. I think one of the very first conversations I had with you, Bomb, was like, y'all were talking about relationships. And I said, I don't want no woman that I can't talk to. I don't give a damn, because at best, we may spend 35 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour in the bedroom. What the fuck we going to do after that?
Right. These men are of age where they know that, but they don't care, because they should be saying what we're saying right now. They should be saying, yeah, when we're boys, and they should be saying, hey, young boys, maybe when he's 20, he still might be interested in 16-year-olds, because he's still young, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's fairly young.
We still got the same. Usually, you have to still have the same group of friends,
right? And so I think all of us understand that. But these men, you can see if they're not already 40, they approaching it, right?
Right.
And but their talking points is not to be educational for the positive. They still talking as if they're speaking from a 20-year-old.
20-year-old, a teenager's perspective. These men want to be grown, but they're not grown.
Yeah.
That's why I put under title right there, grown men don't talk like this, because we don't talk like this. We don't sit around and have age disparities on children. We don't even talk about teenagers, especially women in our 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and older, because they're not in our circles.
I agree.
I'm not going to a club where there's a 21-year-old anyway.
That's a fact. We're a little older, right?
Right.
If I go to the club, I'm only going with my nieces or some family members who's younger, and I'm the designated driver, right? I might be the one to push them on the floor and say, let's dance, and then before you know it, everybody on the dance floor.
Right.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But
go ahead. For me, of course, I'm a DJ and I do parties outside, different events and all that. So, of course, I'm a crowd racer, but I know the difference in the young girls, and notice I'm using this. I notice the difference between the young girls in the crowd and the grown women.
It's obvious, isn't it, Mr. DJ? Be honest.
It's a distinct difference, especially when they come up to the DJ booth and they ask, "Can you play this song for me?"
Right.
You come up to my booth and you ask me, "Can you play what's that? YN Melly? What's one of the popular groups out there? The new rap group or some drill music." Chances are, I'm going to look at you as you're probably a younger woman. But if you come up to me and asking me for some Al Green, I got that. But you get what I'm saying, right? It's just some people, no matter how much they try to describe their age, your conversation or what you ask for sometimes gives you away.
Exactly. That could be one of the definite things is what we're interested in.
Right.
But also how we approach it, a young girl may come up a little fumbly, it just the way we speak, the way we hold ourselves. These things are different.
And again, you're not wrong for that, because it does happen when the younger girls or the little kids, when they come up, especially when I'm doing like birthday parties, when they come up to me timid.
Mhm.
It's like, I don't really want to bother him, but the older women that come say, "Hey, nigga, you got this on?"
Right, because she know your job. She know what you there.
Right,
You gonna
right.
rock the
You know what I'm
crowd.
doing. Right, when
Right.
somebody paid you to be here, somebody paid you to be here.
Right. The young lady not even sure if you're gonna take a request. She not sure if she could ask.
Exactly.
If she could ask.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, but the more mature woman, she gonna come up and say, "Hey, we want to
Hey.
hear this."
Right.
Put
Right.
this in your
Exactly.
rotation.
Right. Let's see what you got. You ain't no damn DJ. You ain't got this. Get your ass up out of here. Let's go.
Okay, so y'all gonna just hold on to the attractive word instead of just addressing the issue.
Well,
I got it.
like Lucky said,
That's
no, Lucky said, she said, okay, but once you find out their age and you still pursue
that's a
them,
different
why are you
question.
still
That's
pursuing them
that's
and
different.
having sex
Yeah.
with them when you find this out?
That's different, right?
That's a different question.
That's a different
She
question.
said that.
No, that's
But
no.
those are
That's
two
what she
different
said.
questions,
Why are
and
you
that's
Now it's
I
still?
just
agree
two
with
different
that.
Why are you
questions. Now
still
they don't
dealing with
understand nuances.
with a teenager when you find out
That's
she's
that's a
16?
fair question. But the first question is a different
How
question.
can you
So
still
it's an
be
unfair
attractive to
question
them?
once you know she's a 16-year-old and you
I agree
continue
with
to be
that.
attracted to her.
Yeah.
So we have a don't use that word because it makes it sound weird. Why when it's legal?
No, I'm
That
saying,
we took it out already, so it shouldn't be weird to mess with a legal person.
bro. So listen, okay.
Unless we're saying it's weird.
So
Like I don't get it.
okay. So let me
Okay.
paint you,
Pause
because
it right
obviously
there.
you don't know what society is and how they judge me.
Okay, well I
Okay.
guess I'm the dumb one up
So
here.
yeah. So
No.
let me address it. Okay. A woman. I said this yesterday. A woman can see a kid and be
Yeah,
like,
Miss-
"Oh,
Miss-
look him." Oh, a woman can see a little baby. Oh, she baby so cool. Oh, girl, my ovaries.
And she's a predator.
No, she not.
Needs to be
Y'all
called
let
out.
women get away with
Women's
this shit
twerking on
all the
kids is a
time.
problem.
Women say, "Oh, my ovaries. Oh, I'm getting baby fever. I'm getting baby fever."
But
am I muted? Oh, okay.
no, you're Bob, but you can. You must have been, but you can't. Did you hear that conversation just now? Even in the face of reason, they still tried to put the blame on the woman. That what he just said does not make sense at all.
Well, I agree with that, but I wanted you to pause it before he even said anything, because that's just where I disagree with her. Because she's
Okay,
she's
you tell me
asking,
when.
well,
You tell me
why
when.
is it weird? Because she's saying it's legal. So
I
like
I get what you're
she's
saying.
basically saying, hey, if she's 16 and you're a grown man, you can mess with her. See her what she is saying. I don't think if people listening to what she's saying. She's saying it's legal. So yeah, why is it weird? She's saying, I don't understand why you saying it's weird, because the men are saying it's weird because they know they shouldn't be doing it. She's saying she don't understand why they saying it's weird because they should do it and could do it because she's 16 and it's legal. And because we're going at the men, we're not listening to her dumb ass. Her dumb ass. You know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying. So are you saying we're overlooking some of her incorrect or statements because we're focused on what these men are saying?
Yeah. Remember when I came up, I said I disagree with them, but I said I disagree with her too.
You
because
did. Yeah, you did.
I've been listening to what she's saying the whole time, and she's basically saying, yeah, a grown man could be with a 16-year-old because it's legal. So that's legalities. And if she focused on legalities, basically she's saying, yeah, it's legal for a grown man to be with a 16-year-old.
All right, I backed it up a little bit, Bomb. So you let me know when you want me to pause it.
Attractive to them.
Once you know she's a 16-year-old and you
I agree
continue
with
to
that.
be attracted to her. So we have a don't use that word because it makes it sound weird. Why when it's legal?
No, I'm saying
we took it out already, so it shouldn't be weird.
Right there. Is that the point that you're talking about when you say why it's legal? I can't hear you, Bomb. I don't see your microphone moving. Or is it me? There you are. I heard something. You're on mute now. Can you folks hear me? There you are, Bomb.
Okay. My internet was tripping. I'm sorry. I couldn't hear nothing.
Okay. All right. So let me back it up again. So you didn't hear that part. I think I know where you want me to stop it. Let me replay it again. So this is the part you're referring to.
Their age and you still
And
pursue
that's a
them.
different
Why are you
question.
still
That's
pursuing them
that's
and having
different.
sex
Yeah.
with
That's a
them when you
different
find
question.
this out?
That's different, right?
That's a different question.
That's a
Those
different
two
She
question.
said that.
No, that's
But
no.
those are
That's
two
what she
different
said.
questions.
Why are
And
you
that's
Now it's
I
still?
just
agree
two
with
different
that.
Why are you
questions. Now
still
they don't
dealing with
understand nuances.
a teenager when you find out
That's
she's
that's a
16?
fair question. But the first question is a different
How
question.
can you
So
still
it's an
be
unfair
attractive to
question
them?
once you know she's a 16-year-old and you
I agree
continue
with
to be
that.
attracted to her.
Yeah.
So we have her. Don't use that word because it makes it sound weird. Why when it's legal?
No, I'm
That
saying.
we
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. So she been saying this the whole time, but because they was arguing with her, they wasn't even listening to what she was saying. Because she mentioned this even earlier on when she said, why? Like it's legal.
Right, and I'm focusing on the morality part of it, but you're absolutely right. It's not about the legality of it that I've been speaking of. It's on the morality part of it. Even
Right.
though whether whether you believe that this child is legal or not, that's not what we're talking about. You as a grown man have no reason to be, you as a grown man or as a grown woman have no reason to be in the same circle, especially a sexual circle, with a teenager.
Right. And it should be legal that way. But what happened is a lot of society they think that everybody, especially once we come of age, that we're gonna be reasonable. We're gonna be, we're gonna keep it as reasonable as we can, but apparently we don't know humanity, right? So I'm thinking once I turned 18, there was no looking back at nobody younger than me. You know what I mean? Like, but we got some of these men who they turn 18, they still looking back. Now it's so we understand how that could be when they're dealing with these people growing up, right? Like they can be dealing with a 16-year-old when they're 18 because they've been dealing with that young lady since they were kids. He's only 2 years older than her. But what happens when these 25-year-olds end up stumbling on some 16-year-old
That's
that he didn't even grow up
point
with?
I'm talking about. Right. That's the point I'm talking about. We're not talking about these acquaintances between 16, 17, 18 years old, because they're normally when I was in high school, you had from the ninth grade on up to the 12th grade. So there was three or four distinct age groups in that particular ones. For those who didn't pass, and they might be an age ahead of you. For those who just coming up and those of you on the same age with you. So there's to me in high school, there was three distinct age groups that I was around.
Right. Which could be like a 4-year age difference. But to be honest,
right.
though, when I went in as a freshman, a lot of the seniors wouldn't even have dealt with a freshman.
Anyway.
Right. You know what I mean? Unless you had to be cute or they called you fresh meat. It would be the guys who was there to use and abuse a young lady.
You had to be extraordinary, Bomb, to hang out with the seniors.
Yes, that's right. But you had to be extraordinary, just like you said, to even if you playing sports and you ended up on that varsity team, you had to be so good.
You still didn't hang out with them. You still didn't hang out with them.
Exactly.
Right. You had to be extraordinary.
But you see, the ones, the seniors who were, they like younger people. They would still date that young freshman coming in.
Right.
I remember being a freshman and getting on that bus and seeing some handsome young older boys, and they ignored the shit out of me, as they should have. You one day wanted to be those seniors, wanted to be able to hang out with those seniors. You wanted to become a senior, but the ones who was good and they just stayed away from us. And the boys, though, who was there to be perverted, they were the ones who would deal with a freshman like myself at the time.
They sure would, and you could point them out. Again, it's been it's quite some time since I've been in high school, but there's some things throughout life you don't forget, and those high school days you don't forget.
And you know what? And them older seniors, the good seniors, they didn't deal with the other seniors who would mess with freshmen. In fact, they would judge them.
Sure, right. Sure didn't. They sure
They
didn't.
would be like, hey, she's too young for you.
Right. And that's what I was saying earlier about that the folks that I hang around, me and my brother might be driving to a whatchamacallit. We see some going, and we see some girls walking through on this boulevard or whatever. We look, and both of us look at them. Damn, she fine. And then we get around to where we can turn around and look at her. Oh man, she a young man. Damn.
Yep. That's how it used to be with some of these men. They used to let, hey, she too young for you. Stay away from that young girl.
Right,
Hey, bro, why
right.
you talking to her? You know she
Man,
too young.
why you right? You know she too young to be messing with that young girl, man. All these grown ass women out here. What you doing with her, man? You
Right.
damn sure as a person, you damn sure couldn't bring no girl that was 10 years younger than me to meet my mom or my pops. Hell no.
That's right. They want to know what you doing. What is this about?
What's wrong with you?
Right.
That's the first thing my pops would have asked me. What's wrong with you?
And now we have a group of men who really is pushing this.
Is it normalized? You think this social media thing that we do here, you think it normalizes this to a bit?
Yeah, yes, that's the dangers of it, right? We listen to what was going on when I started going at like the what we call the Rim Brothers now, but the Manosphere. Kevin Samuels came about, and now women are talking about they need men who make six figures. But before that, you ain't hear that a lot. But now that's all over the internet and off the internet. So we normalize things that are harmful to our community. Because of course it would be great to be with somebody who makes six figures. It would be great to make six figures. All those things, right? But it's just not a reality. So something that's not real being at the center forward of our community makes it irrational and dangerous.
Right. And again, a lot of these things that we say, even like you're talking about that with the six-figure thing. Listen, there's some easy ways to debunk that. We all know, and this is nothing against my brothers and sisters, but the majority of us don't make six figures.
Right. And those who do, because we have a lot of jobs across the spectrum, but even like a man like my husband, right? Barely just under six figures, but he's been working his job all his life, basically. Right. So you get older, but then once you're retired, then those six figures go away.
Absolutely. Right. And listen, and we're all gonna come to the point of that one day, physically, if you make it to that, the word retire, you ain't gotta ask for it, it's gonna come get you.
Oh yeah. It's gonna come.
It's gonna come to get you.
And so then what happens? What happens then? Do the relationships fall apart if you even lasted that long? What happens?
Right.
Then
you better what you gonna do in 86? What you gonna be like? What's the girl's name? The Guess Jeans girl commercial? You gonna marry some rich 80-year-old fool in a wheelchair?
Right. And remember, Kevin was using examples like that. He would say real crazy things, but essentially that's how normalization happened, y'all. Once something happens and it's been spoken long enough, people start believing it, and then before you know it, it's a belief. Whether it's true or not, that's another situation. So these men have been pushing men being with younger girls for a few years now, quite a few years. We got them to back down, and now it's coming back up.
Exactly, because remember, there's a one point in time, and I don't mind calling these folks out by names, but you remember there was a time that Aaron O was in the news for saying that him and Fatty was in the news for talking about they would marry a 14-year-old girl, but they wouldn't have. They would marry her if it was legal. Why? What would make you want to be married a 14-year-old girl anyway, legal or not? And they talk about you're not going to have sex with her. Well, you ain't married to her.
Wait, yeah, he didn't say he wouldn't have sex with her. He said he'll marry her, but that's what but he tried to make the point if it's legal. And that's what she's doing right now. Now, somebody say that maybe she's trying to get him in a box, but I guess we'll see because I haven't heard all of it. But
yeah, that's why
she's saying that she don't understand why they have a problem with it. She don't have a problem with it because it's legal. I've heard her say this before. That's why she was called a mammy. You know, she one of them ones that people call a mammy.
Right, again, I'm not too familiar with Lucky Marie, so I can only tell you, Lucky, I ain't say it. hey there, Mahogany Roots, how you doing? And folks, again,
I took it out already, so it shouldn't be weird to mess with a legal person.
One sec, I'll drop the link down in the box there if anyone want to come up and join the conversation. Again, please, I ask you to be respectful of the host, and also please be respectful of the guests and be respectful of the folks down in the chat room. We can have a disagreement and a dialogue without having to be nasty to each other. So if you do come up, please remember that. I'm not going to give you no warning. I'm just going to kick you. You know, there's no boundaries here. I kick you.
Bro, so listen, okay.
Unless we're saying it's weird. So, like, I don't get it.
Okay, so let me paint you, because obviously you don't know what society is and how they judge me.
Okay, well, I guess I'm the dumb one.
So let me address it, okay? A woman, I said this yesterday, a woman can see a kid and be like, oh, look at him. Oh, a woman can see a little baby. Oh, this baby's so cool. Oh, girl, my ovaries.
And she's a predator.
No, she's not. Y'all let women get away with this shit all the time. Women say, "Oh, my ovaries. Oh, I'm getting baby fever."
No, I don't know. I don't know what the hell he's talking about.
Okay, so because he's stupid too. He's stupid. Yeah. So a woman see a baby and say, "Oh, my ovaries." That's nothing sexual. She's saying she's getting baby fever. What she means by that is her body has the desire to have a baby.
That don't mean she's gonna rush out and have one, does it?
Right, but you know that they believe, some women, you know, because it's believed once you see a baby, women start saying, "Oh, I want one of those," and she might want to, you know, decide that she want to go have some children.
right. Want one of those? Think it's just a damn commodity, a grapefruit you pick up in the damn store. I want one of those.
Yeah, and you know that's how a lot of women have babies, though. Like it's not a lot of. You know, whether it's going to be a oopsie baby because she just had sex with somebody and got pregnant, or she may see a baby and then decide, yeah, I want a baby now. That's usually how it happens. One of those two ways.
But according to them, you know, according to that guy right there, what did he say? Let me play that again. What did he say? Because that was pretty stupid. What did he say? Yeah.
A woman can see a kid and be like, oh, look at him. Oh, a woman can see a little baby. Oh, this baby's so cool. Oh, girl, my ovaries.
And she's a predator.
No, she's not. Y'all let women get away with this shit all the time. Women say, oh, my ovaries. Oh, I'm getting baby fever. And
they're predators.
At what point can a man see a baby and be like, oh, my nuts?
You're right, Lucky, but they don't be.
At what point?
See, wait, hold up. So everybody on that panel is dumb. They don't. He don't know what he's talking about. He don't know what he's talking about, and he don't even know what that man because he's trying to mix up. She's saying she's a predator because she thinks that maybe it means she turned on, but no, it just means that she's saying, I have a desire to have a baby. I want one to look. Oh, look how cute. Now I want to have a cute baby. But the way he's saying it, as if she's saying, oh, my ovaries, as in saying I'm turned on. But when do our ovaries have anything to do with us being turned on?
I don't know. I think I think there's probably a term for that. I won't guess into it, but I know there's certain things that women do go through, as they call them, the childbearing years, that some women, I'm only guessing, this is what I'm heard. I'm not a scientist in this, so don't quote me on this, but some women go through this phase where they feel it is time for them to have children.
Yes, but that's not what he's saying. He's saying that she turned on sexually.
Right. And there's a big difference.
Yes. And when she say my ovaries, she's saying that, like, so there's a reaction going on where she desires to have a baby. She's not looking at a baby thinking, oh, I want to have sex with him.
Exactly. And that's what he's not getting.
Right. And she's talking about she's a predator. She basically all she's saying is I want one of those. Her body is telling her, hey, you need to have this baby.
With no time date in front of it. I just want one of those. I want to have a baby. It's time for me to start preparing. I think in the nature they call it preparing to nest.
Nesting.
Yes.
Yeah. They say there's some things that could stimulate women to make us want to have babies. I do believe that, seeing a baby and being like how cute it is, almost like a baby doll, may make a young woman want to have a baby. Even not just a young woman, a woman. Let's say a woman.
Right.
Childbearing years.
You addressed it from the woman's side of it, so let me address it from the man's side of it. Fellas, let me ask you, when in the blue blazes have you ever grabbed your nuts and said, ooh, I want to have a baby?
Right.
When have you ever done that? And like someone says, I don't think about having a baby. You know why? Because I can't carry it. That's for damn sure. So that's not in my will to think about. I'm gonna grab my nuts, or I'm gonna see because I'm attracted some young girl, and what the reason that they give me. The first thing I'm gonna do is grab my nuts and say, "Ooh, I sure want me a baby." Maybe I'm missing something, but how many of y'all fellas do that?
Hey, bro.
Oh, my nuts.
Is what I
okay,
you're
but
right,
that doesn't change
but it don't
the
be
fact
the
that
same,
it's a problem. You see
it
what
is
I'm
a
saying?
problem because it's not.
It's not societal. That's what I'm saying.
It's
but
not
the
equal though.
question was, why is it backlash? So that's what I was addressing, and it still hasn't been addressed. We're arguing why words exist in the area of the how.
No, he said, why is it backlash when she exposes somebody for doing when she do something grimy? It ain't a backlash because she a child. That's what you heard. The backlash.
Okay, as he just said again, y'all gotta listen. He said, expose. Who did she expose? By telling another grown person that this grown man was having relations with me, who did she expose? She exposed herself. Did she put herself in any harm's way of going to jail? She might suffer some embarrassment. She might suffer some grief. But is she going to jail for it? Whether it was consensual or not, is she going to jail? Can charges be brought up on a 16-year-old girl for having intimate relations with a 24-year-old man? I think that only works in one direction. Maybe I'm missing something.
Yeah, who exposed somebody? Somebody exposed something? Is that what they talking about?
That's what he's saying. He's saying that because of prior to the conversation, they saying the reason why they're talking about a particular, I guess, a Hollywood couple, whatever, and they're saying is the reason why she was good with everything, and once she decided that she didn't want to deal with it anymore, she exposed him. Well, no, she just told a secret that you asked her to keep as a grown man because you know it was wrong.
Right. So, and that's what these men don't like neither, right? Which they need to pay attention before they mess with kids. So when we become of age and we become mature, some of us women understand, right? That we become smart. We realize that we wasn't so smart like we thought we was when we was younger. And then we start realizing that this older man who had us by 4, 5, 6 years, was 10 years, that he did know better. And then we start saying, well, yeah, you did. You
manipulated me. Right.
Yeah, right. You knew I didn't know any better, and you was there to even make situations worse because you ended up getting me pregnant. You know what I mean?
Right, absolutely. So acting as instead of acting as the adult in the room, You took advantage of me because I didn't know better.
Right. Now, a lot of women not going to want to blame because if a child, especially if a child came out of it. But the realities is that's how we get manipulated really badly. Because he gets us pregnant and now he kind of knows he's attached to us for the rest of our lives.
Yeah.
Until he decides to throw us away and then he'll back away real quick. You know what I mean? But we stuck with this child that hopefully we love and things like that. But yeah, that's how women get manipulated when we children.
I agree. I agree. And you there's only one file that you can put these folks under, and that's the PDF file.
That's right. That's where they belong.
That's the only one file you can put them under.
But why is she not getting backlash?
If she was of age, would he get backlash?
For calling him out. That's
for calling him out.
If she was of a certain age, would she get backlash?
Yes, matter of fact, listen. So
is she 16 now? Is she
16 no, she's not 16 now. She older now.
She was 16 when they started dating.
So how old is she now? So how old is she now?
She probably like 22, 21, 22.
So a 22-year-old did this?
No, she was 16 when they started dating. He was 24.
No, I'm saying she was a 22. No, I'm saying exactly. One time when she exposed him, she was grown.
Yeah, she's 22 now. Like 22, 21, something like that.
So I feel like the question you was asking is why is she not getting backlash for exposing him, right?
Yeah, because listen.
Yeah, that's
no, that's the wrong question, nigga.
Yeah, why would she get backlash?
I'm sorry. I said I wasn't going to use the N-word anymore, but that's natural response right there. No, that's the wrong question. Why is she getting backlash? Why is he not getting backlash for being a 24-year-old man? Do the math. 8 years difference. A teenager.
Yeah.
A teenager you're talking about. A grown man that's out in the world.
You know what's gonna happen? Men, a lot of men, right? Don't understand what a 16-year-old girl or boy is like until they have their own children. And see, once they have a 16-year-old daughter, that's when they're gonna realize how terrible this
what he said
conversation.
That's exactly what I said earlier, Bone. That's exactly what I said earlier. You're going to realize, I hope that you folks don't have daughters because you're going to realize this shit will not age well if you do.
It's going to look bad. Because imagine them having a 16-year-old and some 24-year-old pulling up
come at your data. Door. Right. Pulling up this. This is what your dad said. That's what your daddy said. Welcome back to my man. Appreciate it. I'm glad you got safe through the mountains over there. I'm wondering if you're in. I was in the mountains in North Carolina last year sometime. Well, year before last. Well, I tell you what, that way down in Hendersonville, North Carolina. I think it's Hendersonville or whatever. That's a steep. Nervous. That's all I can say about that. Jesus.
So she knew about it. Yeah, she knew about it the whole time. She was a participant. Now that they broke up, and we kind of just seen Brandon do the same thing about the older nigga she was talking to when she was in the industry, right? She went this whole time. You fucked the shit out the nigga. You got all the benefits of his motherfucking money, and now that it's over, throw him to the wolves. Oh, I didn't know no better. I don't be believing it.
They don't. In some cases, just like I was a 16-year-old boy. My hormones was a rage. At 13, I used to wake up with, as Jas Noelle said, I used to wake up with morning wood. Let me stop that. There's a point in time in your life, every man, you're going to stop waking up with morning wood, whether you want to or not. It's natural progression.
Right.
The same way that women have menopause and it affects them, hot flashes, shit happens to us too, whether you want to admit to it or not. This is crazy to hear them talk like that, isn't it, ABT? It's crazy how these two grown men can sit here for 38 minutes and rationalize the idea that they are talking about a teenager. And towards the end of this, trying to say because she was inflicted and infected with a grown man that sexualized her, that she is wrong after they broke up for mentioning anything about it. The only thing she's wrong about is trusting that nigga. That's what she's wrong for. Any grown man should be able to manipulate a 16-year-old.
Any adult.
And he's an adult. So whoever that is that you're talking about, just because you're up on a YouTube here panel, Tukay and Illa, you are them. Birds of a feather flock together, because nobody in my circle would have defended him. We'd have been talking about how that nigga got his ass beat when he got to the front door.
No, that's right.
And with that bomb, I'm going to close this up. Got to make a few runs out here in these streets. So any last words, Bomb, before we get on out of here? I was going to try and cover Jas Noelle, but I didn't know it was going to take me almost 2.5 hours to cover these stupid niggas here. Well, almost 3 hours to cover these two loose cannons here.
Okay, but thank you for having me. You look like you had two. I don't know. So I guess, is that through StreamYard where you have two things up at the same time?
I think it's StreamYard. One is vertical and the other one is horizontal. And I think the vertical, some people connect to, but from what I understand, it doesn't do very well when it comes to connecting to the actual stream itself. It's good to listen to, but it's hard to see who else is here and who else is not. I had noticed the same thing over the other day when I was over at what they call the dude named Drip. What do you call himself now? The Plug.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, thanks for having me. I had a great conversation. I may review this myself and see, because I want to see where she was going with it too. You know.
Yeah, it's good. I know for a while she steps down there, Bomb, and she does come back up later on. So you might want to, if you are going to review it, you're probably gonna have to go past this part. It's about 38 minutes long or so. But we got to about the 20-minute mark of it, so there's a little bit more to go.
Okay.
Yeah. Right.
Well, I'll talk to you later, Mr. Music, and bye, right, everybody.
Thank y'all for coming up on. And tell your family hello for me. Thank you, Brownie. Thank you, ABT. Thank you. Who else is in here? Logical Assessment. Thank you for the few trolls that bopped in. Candy K Lane, Lana Love. Who else in there? L Bookie, of course. Thank you. Angelica. Did I get everybody? It's just a few people that I've seen in there. Thank y'all so very much for making this channel what it is. A little bit later on this evening, I'll be playing some jazz music. So if you're into it, listen to some smooth jazz and some smooth jazz vocals. Tune in to classic R&B jams. You got to hit the radio station, folks. Again, got a great platform coming up here in just a little bit. We're probably putting the final touches on it. You'll see what I mean. It'll be one of a kind. Y'all see. But in the meantime, y'all know what you do. Say hello to someone. You never know.
Immerse yourself in the soulful rhythms of classic R&B jams, your 24-hour internet radio station. We're serving up a succulent blend of today's hits and yesterday's classics, all with minimal commercial interruptions. From the golden age of soul to contemporary chart toppers, we've got the tunes to keep your day grooving. Whether you're reminiscing or discovering fresh beats, our carefully curated playlist is sure to hit the right note. And if you can't get enough, feel the beat a little deeper by following us across all social media platforms. Dive into the timeless world of rhythm and blues with classic R&B jams, because good music never goes out of style.